Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the NLWC National League Wildcard Game number 1. Miami Marlins versus the Philadelphia Phillies. First pitch is going to be here in about 5 minutes. Let's get into the thumb, and we'll get into the starting lineups. Luis Ariz on the left, and my boy Bryce Harper on the right. Let's freaking go. Let me get into cue the music, and let's get the starting lineups done here. All right, baby. Leading off for the Marlins, second baseman Luis Ariz. Batting second, DHing for Miami, Jorge Soler. Batting third, first baseman Josh Bell. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, center fielder Jazz Chisholm Jr. Batting fifth, third baseman Jake Berger. Batting sixth, left fielder Brian De La Cruz. Batting seventh, right fielder Jesus Sanchez. Batting eighth, playing shortstop for Miami, John Berti. And batting ninth, catching for the Marlins, Nick Fortes. And on the mound for the Marlins, Jesus Luzardo. Okay, baby, look at those throwbacks. Those are some of the prettiest. Like, this is a standard uniform that looks okay, but the throwbacks from the Florida Marlins are one of the best on planet Earth. Big facts. And there are your Miami Marlins. And now let's get to the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off for the Phillies, DHing for Philadelphia, Kyle Schwarber. Batting second, playing shortstop, Trey Turner. Batting third, playing third base, Alec Bohm. Batting fourth and cleanup, first baseman Bryce Harper. Batting fifth, catching tonight, JT Realmuto. Batting sixth, right fielder Nick Castellanos. Batting seventh, second baseman Bryson Stott. Batting eighth, left fielder Christian. And batting ninth, center fielder Johan Rojas. And on the mound for Philadelphia, Zach Wheeler. Let's go, baby. I'm ready to go. A lot of upsets today, obviously, in the playoffs, and we're going to get started here in a moment. And I'm switching it off right now from the Milwaukee Brewers up 3-0 on the Diamondbacks. But, I mean, a lot of surprises. I mean, Tampa Bay was at home, and they lost 4-0 to the Rangers. So I guess that makes, the American League West look really strong with the Texas Rangers. But a little bit surprising that Tampa Bay, made so many mistakes in that game. I got a chance to check out a little bit of that. And then the Diamondbacks back, gone. Big homer to cut the lead to 3-2. Corbin Carroll, you're like the Julio Rodriguez. Oh, baby, 3-2 Milwaukee. And then the Minnesota Twins beat the Toronto Blue Jays, surprisingly, 3-1 earlier today. So let's go fish, baby. Get wild, Miami. Odin Sun with a $25 dono before the stream even started. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $25 dono before the stream started. That's going to get us off to a good note. And it is Sarah's birthday today. Happy birthday, Sarah. Daniel is in the building. What to do? Let's go Phillies. And I did a lot of Phillies games in the playoffs. Since the Mariners are out, I'll be doing Dodgers for my dad. But, depending on the timing of the games, I figured that Rangers-Tampa Bay game was the best matchup, but it ended up being the worst game today. So you never really know how things are going to go. And then a back-to-back homer, Marte. Get down Marte with a homer. We're knotted up at 3. Brew Crew, Diamondbacks. This one's going to go down to the wire. And whoever wins 2 games first is going to be the team that advances. And look at this. Twins won 3-1 over the Blue Jays. A little surprising. Rangers 4-0 over the Rays. Surprising. And then now the Brewers went up 3-0. Now it's 3-3. And then we got a really good matchup here with the Marlins and the Phillies. But we would assume that the Phillies are going to end up winning, right? But you never know. You never know. So let me get it switched over here. And that way we can get the proper broadcast. Since I was watching the Diamondbacks get there. Let's see here. Just got to click on this. And hopefully everything will register. Got to go through my cable provider. Vampire in the building. What's good? Hey, Rangers, man, I'm telling you, Tampa Bay is a good team, but you can never count out the Seattle Mariners, even though we didn't make it. You never can count out the Texas Rangers or the Houston Astros. Honestly, the teams, they're in the American League West. We might represent the World Series and the American League. I think there's a really good possibility. The only team that we have to worry about, I think, is the Baltimore Orioles. They're kind of the feel-good story of baseball. And I wouldn't mind if they ended up making it, honestly, if we end up getting the Orioles and the Braves. But, you never know. You never know who's going to end up, representing for each conference. So, Toby in the building. What's good? I did the Jaguar video for you today. So a lot of times I try to get these videos pumped out a little bit earlier than later. But again, I did Monday Night Football yesterday with Rooftop. So I was only able to get 4 reaction videos and then do this game. And then I'll end up doing another 4 reaction videos tomorrow. And that'll be all of the games from week 4. But the ones that I left, they're not really too crazy. It's like a lot of the kind of leftover matchups. So tomorrow we're going to do Broncos Bears. We're going to do Ravens Browns. We're going to do Rams, Colts, and we'll do Bengals, Titans. And then that'll wrap up all of those. And then if I have any energy, I'll end up doing a college football matchup or 2, even though I already did Colorado and USC Saturday night. And then we'll do another baseball game tomorrow, unless I go out with a friend, my friend Dave. We might go out and, hit up and go get a drink or get some food and whatnot. So we'll see. We will see. But I'm going to grind it out. And like I said, even though the Mariners are eliminated, that doesn't mean that my grind doesn't stop with the baseball. We're going to be streaming pretty much every day, regardless of what's going on. And I'm a huge baseball fan. So it's like, wrestling and football usually come first for me. The NFL, college football, AEW, WWE. But I have a lot of love, for the MLB. And I like watching NASCAR. I'll get into the NBA and college hoops. I do a little bit of everything. And then the Kraken NHL season's going to be starting pretty soon. So we'll be doing Kraken games also. So really, there are, a lot of channels out there. They don't stream every day. With us, not only do we stream every day unless I'm sick or I have some mental health things going on, but we're going to keep it moving with a lot of different things. So definitely excited. Let's get it going, baby. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And let me throw up a couple chief photos from my boy Open. I know he's not in the stream right now, but still, let me do that real quick just to show some love. Anyone that's willing to drop a 25er for me means a lot. Let's throw up a couple, maybe Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce's in here real fast to show some love. And if he comes in the room, then I'll end up coming in with a few more photos. So. Get a couple Kelce's up here. No Taylor Swift, though. Don't worry about that. I'm getting sick and tired of that shit already, too. So, yeah, no worries there. Shout out to Odin's son. $25 dono, getting us started off a good note. And that's key. When you can get started early, it typically gives you a good chance to not only hit the goal, but to set the tone. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you very, very much, my boy. The OG, Odin's son. Thank you, man. All right, baby. First pitch is coming up here real quick. And the thumbnail took me a little while to do, but I already knew who I wanted to put in with Arise and Bryce Harper, and we might switch it up. We'll see what we do. And, you know, maybe they should have made that Rangers-Rays game the 5 o'clock game. I mean, if that was the case. I mean, I don't necessarily want a 4-0 game, but, again, the playoffs will surprise the hell out of you. You never know what you're going to get. Minnesota 3-1 over the Blue Jays. I did not see that coming. Minnesota's the worst team out of all the teams in the playoffs in the wild card. They won at home, so I guess home field advantage does matter, right? And then you got the Rangers winning on the road 4-0. Hella surprising. Most people thought Tampa would win. Maybe not 4-0, but maybe like 4-2 or 3-2, something like that. And then the Milwaukee Brewers at home are very, very good. But the Diamondbacks were one of those teams that kind of pushed the Dodgers to the limit, fell back, caught up, fell back, kind of went up and down this season. But Corbin Carroll is a G. He's kind of like the Julio Rodriguez, of the Diamondbacks. I love him, and he's actually from the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. So I'm not necessarily rooting for the Diamondbacks, but definitely want Corbin Carroll to do well. And he already had a 2-run homer, and they knotted it up with Ketel Marte, and it's knotted up 3-3. So, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow if I do another game. So we'll be busy. Reaction videos, 4 of them on the NFL side tomorrow to wrap up week 4, because I promised y'all I'm going to do 15 or 16 reaction videos pretty much every week. I'm going to try to do all the games, and then I try to squeeze in somewhere between 2 and 4 college reaction videos if I have the time, on top of that. And then, with Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, guys like that. And then now we're into baseball. Hockey's coming up. NBA's coming up. Dame Dollar with Giannis. I'm going to do a lot of Bucks games. I'm going to do a lot of Blazer games because I'm a Blazer fan as well. And then we got Jazz Chisholm with Buster Only. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Brandon in the building. What's good? He said, I'm from outer space, baby. He said, I'm an alien. AK-41, Alvin Kamara, that's the alien. All right, baby. So normally, the Phillies were that underdog team, right? They were the underdog team last year and overachieved and then made it all the way to the World Series. Can they do it again? We'll have to wait and see. If there's a team that could possibly lose, it would probably be the Dodgers. Not the Braves. I mean, I would assume that we're going to get Braves Astros. I'm hoping that we get Braves Orioles, but I'm assuming that we're going to get Braves Astros just because of the experience and how good those teams are in the postseason. But again, if the Astros don't make it, there's a lot of good quality teams. There's about 4 or 5 that could represent the American League. And the National League, I think there really is only 2. I think it's like the Braves, the Dodgers. But I do think that, if you get a good, strong showing from like the Brewers or the Phillies, those are the 2 teams that might be able to knock off the Dodgers. So we'll see. Yeah, I wish the Mariners were able to advance, but again, just not good enough, to get the job done, unfortunately. So. Let's go, baby. Let's get everything refreshed here real quick. Okay, let's see if it got refreshed. All right, scoreboard is good. We are good to go. Let's go, baby. All right, Zach Wheeler, you got to show me something on the mound, baby. I always come and show up for guys like Bryce Harper. He's a stud. Let's go. Luis Arise leading off for the Marlins. Let's go, baby. Philly crowd loves it, especially after what happened last year, overachieving. They want to be able to get back to the World Series. And the Brewers and the Phillies have a shot. They legitimately do. You know, I don't know if the Braves can get upset, but I definitely think the Dodgers, that's my dad's team since the 50s. And normally I wouldn't say something like that unless I really believed it. But the Dodgers have holes. Their lineup isn't really that good. You know, they got Mookie, they got Freddie Freeman, but a lot of the other guys are kind of up and down, like Max Muncy and JD Martinez. So, you know, there is a little wiggle room in the National League, too. MLB average, Luis Arise, obviously killing it all season long. 1-1 pitch. Arise. Oh, nice catch. Okay, Ponche with the catch. I see you. One away. Next up for the Marlins, DHing for Miami, Jorge Soler. All right, Zach, we need you to set the tone, baby. Let's go. Pitch to Soler, fouled off. Soler is sneaky, though, too, because I remember every Mariner game that we played, if you take him for granted, he'll go yard on you. He's got 36 homers. It's like Kyle Schwarber. I don't think people realize that Kyle Schwarber almost had 50 home runs this season because everyone wasn't talking about Aaron Judge this year. Everyone was talking about, you know, Arise with the hits. You know, they were talking about Ohtani. You know, they were talking about other players, but it just seems like Schwarber kind of was like under the radar, you know, and then obviously we know Mookie and Freddie and obviously, we know Ronald Acuna and Olsen got a lot of that love. This Phillies crowd is nice. Let's go. Right down the middle. Got him. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Wheeler with a K. I see you. Let's go, baby. And I like watching games where you have the fan base that's emotional. And obviously, the Phillies, you already know what it is. You got the Sixers, you got the Eagles, you got the Flyers. I might not be a Philadelphia fan per se, but I know what games I want to be able to cover for that passion and that energy. And, you know, maybe some Eagle fans get a bad rap, you know, just like the Saints and the Cowboys and a few others, but they're hella passionate. And I can respect that as a Mariner fan because we're very passionate as well. Sarah in the building. What's good? Ooh, Red Lobster. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We got a $25 dono before the stream started from Odin's son, who I don't think is in the room, but sent that for me. So that's great to get us to set the tone. And then maybe we can get a few more people to come through for you as well on your birthday. 2-0 pitch. Come on, Wheeler. And I'm very, you know, and like I said, I think a lot of people that, you know, do NFL, you know, you might be able to get away with doing your team in some of the games on Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night. But if you're not used to calling the NBA, the NHL, or the MLB, it's like not easy. You know, it's like you might be able to do your team, but you know, not a lot of people have the diversity or the flexibility to do anybody. And I feel that that's one skill set that we have here on this channel. Nice little ground out there. Phillies get out of the inning, but you know, to be able to do baseball, basketball, football, hockey, wrestling, I don't know anyone else on YouTube that can do it besides me. You know, and like I said, you have to do a lot of research, you have to do a lot of reading, you have to do a lot of pronunciation because you know, especially with hockey and baseball, there's a lot of names that are kind of like, okay, how do I pronounce this? So as long as you're willing to put in the hard work and the dedication, then you know, you get the rewards from it, and then I get to vibe with all kinds of different fan bases, which I truly enjoy. So, ooh, baby, endless shrimp, I love that. You know, and then they also have the never-ending pasta bowl at Olive Garden. So Olive Garden's got the jump off. Then you got the shrimp, obviously going there at Red Lobster. And you know what? I'm thinking I might end up going there probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You know, I think that anytime I have extra money, you know, if I can end up going somewhere to eat, Red Lobster and Olive Garden, those are two not bad places to go. Big facts. 25 doll hairs. Let's get to hundo. 75 to go. Sarah's birthday today, the lead mod, and your boy is ready. Leading off for the Phillies, DHing with almost 50 homers this season, Kyle fucking Schwarber. Batting second, a little bit of a disappointment to Philly fans early on, but caught his wind and caught his ground. Shortstop, Trey Turner. And batting third baseman, Alec Bohm. Let's go. And on the mound for the Marlins, you already know who it is. Jesus Luzardo. Look at those throwbacks from the Florida Marlins. Those are some of the cleanest throwback unis, period. Big facts. And I even I even got an additional Phillies logo. So we got this one that spins, and then I decided to hit you with a throwback as well. This one just goes side to side, but I was like, ooh, that is fire. I got to get that too. Let's go, baby. Corbin Carroll, he's a G. Cattell Marte says, let me join the potty. Let me join the home run potty, baby. And I busted out 4 reaction videos a day. Did 3 walks with Paisley. I'm just trying to stay fit, stay motivated, get that mental health up. And then I'm ready for some, playoff baseball. So here we are. National League wild card, best of 3. First team to win 2 games advances. I'm ready. God, I love playoff baseball. Let's go. Let's wish the Mariners were in it. No lie. And, one of my best friends, Preston, is a big Marlins fan. So I assume that he's watching. He doesn't really come on YouTube that often. Otherwise, maybe he'd stop by in here. But, with the Marlins, kind of skating their way in, obviously not a whole lot of run support. Pitching sometimes is suspect, but someone had to come out of the, National League in the wild card, and it wasn't going to be the Cubs. So the Marlins, that was the right team. If the Cubs were a little bit, stronger, throughout the season, they could have made it, but fell a little short like the Mariners did. But I personally feel the Mariners should have made it over the Twins. Like if we did it just based off record instead of just doing it based off divisional winner, But again, we already know that in the West it's strong. The Central is weak in both. There we go, Schwarber. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, Kyle Schwarber, baby. Oh yeah, oh yeah. How you pitch a Schwarber is you fucking walk him. That's how you pitch to him. Nice job. Next up, shortstop, Trey Turner. Big swing and a miss. Let's go, Trey. Schwarber hits bombs, baby. And his batting average is some shit, right? It's 197, which is absolutely fucking terrible, right? But 47 homers is second, right? And then he's got 104 ribbies, which is 11. So he's one of those guys that's like, all boom or bust. And good thing there was no busting, baby. Crazy homers, man. Yeah, tons of walks too. Come on, Trey. Popped up. All the endless shrimp. Crispy shrimp, grilled shrimp. I mean, they have like 3-4 different kinds that you can get. And I prefer the crispy first, but then after you have the crispy for a few portions, it's good to go to the grilled. And then you got like the different sauces that you can try out and whatnot. They got the lobster tail and they got the crab, and you can dip it in the lobster tail in the butter. Oh, I mean, I'm a big seafood guy. I live out here in the Pacific Northwest. So if you live on the East Coast or the West Coast, seafood is a big, big thing out here. Same thing with Mexican food too. And I noticed that we have a couple places that hit the top 100 for taco places. We had a few of them actually land in Oregon. Oh, Trey! Oh, fair ball! Go, go! Schwarber, move your fat ass! Go, go, go! Oh, he stays at third. Ooh. Oh, Schwarber would have got thrown out. Oh, baby. Nice job, Trey. You always come up in the clutch when it's needed. A lot of Philly fans were telling me, they overpaid. He's garbage. I was like, trust me. I've been watching his whole career. I watched him with the Dodgers with my dad. He is one of the best all-around players. His numbers are down this year, but he will come up in the clutch just like he did. Nice job, Trey. Next up, third baseman Alec. Boom, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Alec. And obviously on their magical run, I did a lot of playoff baseball last year. And, this is like, I think maybe my first full year, not just doing playoff games or games here and there, like actually dedicating myself to try to do over 100 of the 162 of the Mariners, as well as sprinkling a little Dodgers and Braves and some of your favorite teams as well, like the Cardinals for Sarah. Oh, boom! Popped up. Ah. Yeah, stay at third. One away. Oh, here we go, baby. You already know what it is. Next up, first baseman, Bryce Harper. I put him on the thumbnail, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And shout out to Rooftop for joining me on the Monday night stream for the Seahawks. I feel that me and him will be collabing a lot. And I usually, don't collab with too many people. Sometimes you got to have the right chemistry and the right vibe. And he's definitely somebody that is going to be a part of the NWSF team. And I'm going to try to help him get to 1,000 subs as soon as I can. And as long as I grow, I'm going to help him grow too. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are haters, that don't want to help each other out. But that's a shitty mentality to have that hater mentality. So, he's going to be on the NWSF team, and it's going to be nice to be able to see him come along as well. And we'll be collabing here and there, throughout the year. Big facts. All right, come on, Bryce. 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. Big slider there by Luzardo. Enjoy that birthday. Come on, Bryce. Only 21 homers this year, which is a little light. Big swing and a miss. But I thought it was really cool when he got ejected and he threw his hard hat up there. I mean, that's like the coolest thing that you can get besides like the cleats, the jersey, or a bat from the player. But the helmet is one of the rarest, just like a bat or a cleat. Getting a ball is cool, but then a kid got it, not an adult. And then he actually signed it for the kid, which I thought was super slick. And he did it in silver Sharpie like I predicted. And that kid has a memory and a piece of memorabilia that is almost priceless. I mean, he's never going to sell it. He can wear it at home if he likes, if he doesn't want to ruin it. It's probably in a plastic acrylic case. And a hat like that from a game, easily worth $3 to $5 bills, 3 to 500. The hat itself, if it's like game used, probably about 250 to 300. And then he autographed it on top of that, and it's actually a game used piece, not just like a practice helmet. Definitely worth, 3, 4, 500 bills. I see you. Come on, Bryce. 3-2 pitch from Luzardo. Got him. Damn it. There goes Bryce. 2 away. Next up for the Phillies, catcher JT Realmuto. Let's go, baby. Let's go, JT. Pitch is high. 1-0 count. Dude, it was crazy. I mean, I don't know how much of that game that you watched. You probably watched quite a bit too, but I was totally shocked that they were making so many errors, Tampa, and how good the Rangers looked. They fed off that momentum, beating the Mariners, and they're trying to get to the World Series. They spent a lot of money. So it could be the Astros, it could be the Rangers, or the Orioles. I would say those are the 3 favorites. And then as far as the National League, it's got to be the Braves, the Dodgers, and then who's the 3rd team? Is it the Phillies or is it the Brewers? Because if the Brewers can't get past the Diamondbacks, Diamondbacks, even if they get past, the Brewers, they're not going to advance, you wouldn't think. But baseball is crazy. No one saw the Phillies making it to World Series. So sometimes you can get hot. You don't have to be the best team. Sometimes you just have to be the hottest team. You just got to get in the tourney. Yeah, you are. Hey, I'm 41, and when I ended up turning 40, 41, it's like kind of hard to believe too, but you just got to be happy that you're alive and you're taking another breath. And, we're still here. We're still grinding. NWSF all day, every day, often imitated, never duplicated, baby. Let's go. Happy birthday. Let's go. And I wish I could have hooked you up with a little bit more of a gift, but you already know how things have been in 2023 compared to 2022. And, if things were, better, oh, nice catch. Jazz Chisholm, if things were a little bit better, then obviously, the gift probably could have been a little bit bigger too. So, but I always will make sure I take care of you every month for all the hard work. Like I said, we're a team. And like I said, there's going to be loyalty. And some people will be loyal and some will not. And obviously, we're going to be riding this thing out for a long, long time. All right, let's go to the top of the 2nd inning. All right, let's go to the Marlins. All right, leading off for the Marlins, center fielder that was hurt for a good chunk of the year, Jazz Chisholm Jr. I don't know how in the hell you got on MLB The Show over Julio last year, but you did. Batting second this inning, third baseman, new addition, Jake Berger. Getting Josh Bell, right, to the Marlins, and Jake Berger was fucking huge for this team. Big facts. And they also have one of the female GMs, one of the only ones. She's hella smart, and she really does know chemistry and knows how to bring people together. And batting third, left fielder, Brian De La Cruz. And it's kind of cool, when you can actually see females that get into management positions as well as like a GM. I believe she's the only female GM in baseball. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's another one in there, Sarah, maybe you would know, but I'm pretty sure she's the only female GM in Major League Baseball, and she's doing a hell of a job. Big facts. All right, baby, let's go. '80 Phillies World Series champions. 1997, the Marlins World Series champions, and that was when my buddy was, pretty young, probably 11, 12 years old when he decided to claim that as his team. 2008 Phillies World Series champion, Ryan Howard. Let's go, baby. This is outside to Jazz Chisholm, Wheeler, 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. 252 average, 19 homers, not bad for being hurt for a chunk of the season. Pitch on the corner for a strike. And the game is on ESPN, so if you guys want to watch along on your phones, tablets, computers, any kind of device that you have, that's what it's on. And then on ESPN2, we got the Diamondbacks and Brew Crew knotted up at 3 in the fourth. Little dribbler for Jazz Chisholm. Throw to first. Got him. There we go. But as far as like the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, I don't really have a favorite that I'm rooting for there. This one, I'm rooting for the Phillies. And then obviously Dodgers and Braves, I'll be rooting for them. And then, Mariners got eliminated. So at this point, if it's not going to be the Mariners, I got to go for the Baltimore Orioles. That's going to be my number one choice. If we ended up getting represented by the Rangers or the Astros, that's fine. But they're rivals of mine, so I can't really pull for them. But I wouldn't be shocked if they make it. There we go. Nice job, Trey Turner. Weather was cold this morning, but it's nice today. A little sun breaks as I'm looking out the window right now. Come on, Wheeler. 3 straight ground ball outs. Wow, pitches inside, called a strike on De La Cruz. That was very suspect. Crazy little throwback look with that kind of sky blue with the orange there. Shout out to everyone that's on Twitter or X watching there as well. Appreciate you guys. And if you're in the room, make sure you comment. Let me know that you're in the building, who your favorite teams are, players, and who you're rooting for in this particular matchup or any of the wild card matchups. Let me know. That's a good question. I mean, we've been asking that all year. Pop foul, and it's like I'm working even harder than I even worked in 2022. I was on a limited, time schedule. Now it's like not only am I streaming every day, but I'm putting out videos almost every day on top of that. So it's a lot of hard work, but hopefully we'll get a few people trickling in at some point. I mean, there's no other sports that's on right now. So I mean, even if you're not a Phillies fan or a baseball fan, you can come out and hang out you with with me and Sarah and the rest of the crew. Diamondbacks and Brew Crew still knotted up at 3. 2-2 pitch from Wheeler. Popped up. Scott got it. Okay, baby. Go to the bottom of the second. And it's like, since I ended up doing baseball full time, I'm like super comfortable calling any game of any team. And I didn't know if I would get that way, but I figured I would. I mean, repetition makes things better. And then, of course, if I'm doing over 100, a Mariner games throughout the season, I'm going to get that comfort level. But then being able to get familiar with the other teams, and that's why I like doing the photos, for all the other teams and whatnot, because then it gives you that comfort level. That you know how to pronounce certain nicknames and names in general and whatnot. And you have to be able to do that, especially on the baseball and hockey side. All right, due up in the bottom of the second, right fielder, Nick Castellanos. Batting second this inning, second baseman, Bryson Stott. And batting third, left fielder, Christian Pache. Let's go, baby. But I'm glad that I was able to get some good views. I usually am getting a couple of the reaction videos that are kind of hitting the algorithm, but usually each week, you're going to have either a new team or a new algorithm that gets hit on YouTube. But I picked up CJ Stroud a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago, trying to be able to get him before he becomes a big name. And I had a feeling that he was going to break out. If he hit 20 in fantasy, especially with all the quarterbacks being kind of shaky, I was like, you know what? He might be on that same level as Richardson. Maybe he'll pass him. And he hasn't thrown a pick yet this year. And I'm really happy that I grabbed him because I ended up having Brock Purdy, dropped him because I needed to pick up other positions. And I needed to make sure I had a backup for Mahomes in fantasy. And getting CJ Stroud, he's amazing. And I think that at some point, and I'm not even joking, I might bench Mahomes depending on the matchup for CJ Stroud. He's playing that fucking good. Megan in the building. Thank you so much. $50 holla. I know you liked my reaction video. And did you see that Pete Carroll that I put for you? I did that specifically for you, Megan. And I know when you saw that, you were like, no way. Pete Carroll on the thumb. And normally that's not going to happen too often because sometimes it'll auto-populate, different photos for me because normally I'll make a thumbnail for the live streams. Sometimes when you do the reaction videos, YouTube will auto-populate certain photos, and I have to go through and select which one I want to use. And, you already knew. As soon as I saw the Pete Carroll come up, I'm like, oh, Megan's going to love this. Because how often is Pete Carroll going to come up auto-populated as the thumb? Probably once a season, if that, or maybe twice. So I had to do it for you. I really enjoyed doing the game with Rooftop. You guys, the defense looked great. Also, the offensive line for the Giants is terrible. Daniel Jones is bad, but he's not as bad as he looked. It's just the offensive line is terrible. No Saquon. Daniel Jones isn't good. And you guys took advantage. The only bright spot was Kayvon Thibodeau. Go Ducks for the Giants defense. But you guys may not be able to win the NFC West unless the Niners have injuries to Purdy or Run CMC or like Talanoa Hufanga or Fred Warner or someone big. But I do think you guys can make the playoffs. So even though you skidded and you lost to the Rams early, I told you, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to rebound. You have. And you guys are looking pretty good. And thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you so much. $50 holla. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $50 holla. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. $25 from Odin Son. Megan with a 50. Thank you so much. Oh, it was for you, specifically for you. I had a couple other options where it had like, a tackle, or it had, a giant player on there, kind of more of the showcase. But I was like, no. I was like, if I'm going to have three choices, because that's what it usually does. It gives you three that pop up. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing the Pete Carroll. Normally, I'm never going to use a coach as the thumb. But I was like, if I don't like the other photos on how they look, or if it's someone that I know that will enjoy it, as much as you. I can't miss out an opportunity like that. And I thought it was fitting that they put Pete Carroll on there, and grabbed that screenshot, that frame, because he was running up and down the sideline, chewing the hell out of that gum and having a great time. So I thought it was only fitting for you. So I appreciate you. And it is Sarah's birthday, Megan, today as well. She has that Red Lobster eating all of the shrimp. Happy 40th to Sarah. So I appreciate y'all in the room, and hopefully we'll get a few more goats to come in to say happy birthday to Sarah, as well as just to hang out with us in the evening. So I know not everyone is into baseball. Hell, my Mariners got eliminated, but I'm still here, and I got to be able to do content. And I got 4 reaction videos to complete the 16 on the NFL for week 4. And I normally like to only have like 1 or 2 on Wednesday, but like I said, if I'm going to be doing so many, I have to make sure that I give you my energy and give you my all. I don't want to be doing like 7 in a day and I'm tired in the last 3 and it's not as good. So I want to give that full energy. So I got 4 NFL ones to do, 1 or 2 college. Maybe the Duck one I'll do. And then I already did USC in Colorado on Saturday after the game was over. So I got that out of the way. And then we'll end up doing another baseball game tomorrow, unless I go out with my friend Dave for a couple hours. Maybe we'll go have a beer or have a burger or have a sandwich or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah, look at that little kid who got the ball. That's awesome. Got him. Stott strikes out. Let me know what you want for photos, and I got you. Bryson is not happy. Next up, Christian Pache. I love it. I expected them to be 5-0, and we got a nice thing coming here with the Ducks and the Huskies. We have a week off because obviously we have a bye week. And crazy thing, in the 100+ year existence of the Washington Huskies and the Oregon Ducks, we have never played each other ever, not even one time when both of us were ranked in the top 10. So you're going to really find out, who is the top dog in the Pac-12. Is it USC? Is it Oregon? Is it Washington? One team will get knocked off, and then it'll come down to USC and maybe that other team. Or maybe at the end of the year, it'll be like a 3-way tie with all 3 of our teams with like 1 loss. So I don't know how it's going to go, but the Ducks are up there, Washington Huskies are up there, and USC's up there, and we'll see where it goes. And all 3 teams' defenses are suspect at times, so there will be a little bit of wiggle room there. Yes, well, let's do some Pete for you. I got you. I appreciate your support. You have not wavered. And a lot of the other, goats, some of them have disappeared. Some of them, are busy. Some of them have, other things that are going on. But I just appreciate, your continued support and loyalty, to me and the channel. And obviously everything that me and Sarah are doing. And I really do appreciate it a lot, because like I said, it's not easy doing this full time, and of course, when you're grinding, full time, and you're one of those people that's on YouTube pretty much daily, so you already know what YouTube is about, and you really support me and Brandon to the fullest, and I really do appreciate it. I know Brandon probably appreciates you very, very much as well. It's very rare to be able to have someone be consistent like you, and consistency is key, not only on YouTube but also for the fan base. You want to make sure you have people, but it also depends on the relationship that you have, and the better relationship you have outside of the streams, sometimes that will end up determining what you have in the streams as well. And, I feel I'm one of the most accessible YouTubers, that's out there. I'm not going to be close with just anybody or everybody, but depending on the relationship, there are going to be about 10 or 12 people that I'm going to be very, very close to, and you are one of them. Look at that handsome face. You see that? Let me see if I can find a photo from last night. Oh, I got this right here. You'll love this. When's the last time you remember the Seahawks with double-digit sacks? Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, even getting 9 sacks is fucking crazy. But that shows you that the Giants' offensive line is terrible. Most sacks in a single game in the NFL this season, and 2 picks, a pick six, and 2 sack lunches from Witherspoon. I'll throw Witherspoon up here too. And I'm just really happy just for Witherspoon's sake and the fan base. I'm glad that that panned out because the last thing that I wanted is him to be a bust. I was like, I want the I want the Pete Carroll and the Schneider era to keep going. I don't want any extra distractions, on saying, oh, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. We fucked up. We should have got Jalen Carter. We should have got, Christian Gonzalez. And then Gonzalez now might be out for the year or a long period of time with the injury with him and Judon for the Patriots. And then Carter's doing great for the Eagles. So that's fine. You can get your DT or your nose tackle next year's draft or get someone in free agency. But, we had a lot of questions, in those first couple games. But in that last game, it solidified it. Yep, that's the guy. We didn't know, and I'm just happy that he was able to showcase some skills within the first month. That way it was like we were not waiting like 2 months and waiting like, uh-oh. Because think about it, if we got to week 9 and he wasn't doing anything, we would have been like, this might be the wrong guy, but he actually did something in the first month. And that's good because that's what I usually give. Is I usually give the rookies a month and a half to kind of get settled to see where they're at. And then usually I try to give rookies, a year or 2 or 3. Sometimes a rookie is not going to hit right away. Sometimes it takes a couple years to get in the groove. So, yeah. Well, also too, it's how they're using him. You got to think, Carter is a big boy up front. He's getting double teamed a lot, just like a lot of the big boys on the Eagles. And with Witherspoon, it's a design blitz. So if you got a guy who's a corner who's really fast, and then they say, okay, you're going to run and you're going to blitz. Jamal Adams is hurt. You can't count on him. I mean, he gets hurt all the time. So we're just going to use like these creative blitzes. They kind of use them like Rondé Barber for my Buccaneers back in the day, where you have a corner that's so good that they'll send them blitzing the quarterback, and they're athletic enough to actually wrap up and tackle them. And I hope that they use that formula future in the moving forward. JSN is the concern. Yep. We thought it would be Witherspoon, but now JSN is kind of looking like a bust, or maybe he might be injury prone. He's not really doing anything. So hopefully he'll turn it up in month, in month number 2, in October for football. So hopefully he's not a bust. Got him. Big strikeout. Nice job, Wheeler. Bertie, sit down. All right, next up, catch Nick Fortes. Wow, Wheeler's in the zone. Yeah, but I'm not saying bust, but outside people, even Seahawk people in the 12s are going to be considering, because people love to rush judgment. You know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of times it's like we want results now, just like in life. It's like I need subs, I need views, I need results now. But we have to understand sometimes you have to be patient. When you want greatness to happen, and greatness takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. 0-2 count. We're in the top of the third, 0-0. Philly crowd is lit. And yeah, hopefully JSN will rebound. I hope so, for not only your sake, my sake, but not only for the Seahawks fans, but everyone in general. So that knee to Jamal's head made me cringe too, but I think we have to get to a point where we have to agree that they overpaid. They overpaid for Jamal, and that trade did not work out. And he's just injury prone like Greg Oden was for my Blazers. Did I want Greg Oden to pan out? Hell yeah, I did. He was supposed to be the next Shaquille O'Neal. But sometimes guys are just brittle. And I think that if it wasn't that knee to the head, it would have been something else within the first couple games, and he would have went out again. When he's healthy, he's a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, Hall of Fame player. But he just can't stay healthy. And I think whenever the time is up, you have to move on. There's no paying Jamal Adams because you're just wasting money at that point. You could use that money for someone that can stay healthy. That's a lower name, right? Double play. Got him. Or draft a guy that maybe can be better. And I wouldn't say that unless I really felt that. Like, I know how good he is. I've seen him at college at LSU. I saw him on the Jets. The relationship, the marriage has not worked out. And it's not really his skills. It's just him getting injured, so. Well, hopefully he's okay. Is there any update reports? It was a concussion, correct? Was there anything else that they said about JSN in the update or with Jamal Adams? If there's anything else, let me know. Sarah had all the Red Lobster. But it's also nice, doing the sports with Rooftop because he's a Mariner fan and a Seahawk fan. He has some good knowledge of sports and whatnot. So I will be collabing with him on a regular basis, I feel. So that's a good sign. It's always good when you can end up finding, pieces to add to the stream and people that, you connect with and you vibe with and whatnot. And I never was afraid to collab with anyone. I told them that we would collab. I just needed to set up the screen so that way that the cards were still there on the side and it looked good. And I feel that we have actually a lot in common. I'm older than him, by about 10 years and whatnot. But with that being said, ooh, look at DK right there. Yeah, I got you. I'm getting all the stuff from last night for you. All the HD 4K for your pleasure. And obviously, we thought that the game might be a little bit better, because the Giants. I mean, obviously, it was like Niners Seahawks. I mean, there would have been a lot more people in the room and whatnot. But sometimes you got to take advantage, of the moment and playing good on the road, and then you end up getting something magical like 11 sack lunches, 2 picks, and a pick six. You're not going to have those kind of results every week. Like that might be the only time that it happens all year, but at least you got to watch it. In fact. I enjoyed the game. Lonely Wolf, how are you? I mean, I think it's definitely up for grabs, but I would say as far as teams, you have to say the Braves. It's their World Series to lose, just based on how they played this year with their pitching with Strider, Acuna, Olsen, and everyone in between. My dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. They have a chance. Obviously, the Brew Crew or the Phillies could be that sleeper team that knocks off maybe a team like the Dodgers or the Braves. And then obviously in the American League, you would think that it would be the Astros, but maybe the Rangers or the Orioles have a shot as well. But I would have to say the Braves. That would be the smart answer. $2 holla. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see for a photo. Who is your favorite team, favorite player? And let me know who that is, and I'll throw up a photo or two for you. $2 for my boy, Lonely Wolf in the building. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Lonely Wolf, my boy. The very first donation from Lonely Wolf ever. Appreciate you. 77, 23 to go to get to a hundo and hit the goal, and then we'll try to go to the second goal. Yeah, we vibe. You can tell, when you watch the stream with us, it's going to be something that, I'm going to vibe with most people, and it's not just because I'm Asian and he's Asian and whatnot. He's Korean and I'm half Japanese. We just got a lot in common with sports, with basketball, baseball, football. He lives in Washington. I live in Oregon, and the geography is pretty much the same. Lots of things in common. So, he's got a good voice. He puts out good content. And and honestly, he's going to need someone like a big brother to mentor him, to kind of show him the ropes. For someone that's not at 1,000 subs yet, and I'm at 20. I could be that guy and be like, no, I can have this ego and be like, I'm not going to work with them. I'm not going to help them. But that's bullshit. I'm going to help people. And we'll probably see our boy Jay Trident, who's a Mariner fan also, who lives in Arizona. His internet connection isn't as good, but hopefully if he gets that fixed, then there'll be the three of us together on a stream, maybe for next year for the Mariners, or maybe at some point in this, Seahawks, season this year. So he's a cool dude. I think he was kind of shocked that I probably was like, yeah, let's do it, But, you never know. Like I said, you just have to be able to have that chemistry and vibe. And, Urinating Tree came on a stream with him and 3 other people earlier in the year too. So, and Urinating Tree is super big too. So it's like, just because you have, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 300,000, 500,000 subs doesn't mean that you're so much better than, someone that is lower on the sub count, Big facts. You can definitely tell to the people who think that they're, that have the ego and whatnot. Like, I already know I'm one of the best on planet Earth. I'm already one of the best at what I do. You have to be able to believe in yourself, put in that hard work, and, the results will come. All right, bottom of the third, 3-2 count. Luzardo. Oh, baby, what a hit. Johan Rojas with a nice hit. I see you, baby. Brand new photo for today. Yeet. So fresh and so clean, clean. Next up, DHing for the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber. Underrated player, Steve Avery. Great choice. Are you a Braves fan? Who do you represent? Give me a background of you. I actually do like to get to know the fans and the people that donate and the people because I end up, I feel I'm very accessible and I have a good relationship with people on like Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, outside of the streams. Not everybody, but um, there we go. Nice stolen bag. But I assume that you're a Braves fan if you're saying Steve Avery. I mean, I grew up, I was born in 82. So, I mean, Sid Bream, David Justice, Ron Gant, Steve Avery, John Smoltz, going through all of the different pitchers. Your choice. Greg Maddux. Yeah, but I would assume that the Braves will win it all. I mean, the only team that can beat the Braves is probably the Braves. Like I said, it's like when the Golden State Warriors were so good when they had like Steph and Clay and Katie and Draymond with, Steve Kerr. You just kind of felt like, okay, as long as they don't get hurt, nobody's fucking beating this team. I don't give a shit what anyone says. And you kind of had that feeling, and most of the time that typically ends up happening. I got a I got a throwback for you. It's not going to fit the screen, but this one is epic. Look at this one. Let's go. Can you name all of those pictures in the photo? There, 4 out of the 5 are very easy to name, but who's the 5th? That is going to be tricky. Glavin, Maddox, Smoltz is 4th. Who's number 3 and number 5? Ooh. Appreciate you. Yeah, true. But also you have to be able to look at the Dodgers. Their lineup for hitting isn't very good past hitter number 5. There's a lot of holes there. Their pitching has been hurt too. So, yeah, we could end up seeing someone other than the Braves and Dodgers, but when it's playoff baseball, you would think that they have enough, even with injuries, to be able to advance. And if there was one team that could lose, it's not the Braves, it would be the Dodgers. The Dodgers aren't as powerful as they were a few years ago, where they were the best team for about 3 years and you felt they could win the World Series every year. So I know they got some injuries, but still, I mean, they're still super deep. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, the teams that should make it are probably the Braves and the Astros, but maybe we'll end up getting the Orioles and the Braves, or maybe a different combination. I'm not too sure. Maybe the Rangers, maybe the Astros. We don't really know. Who's your favorite player on the Astros currently and from the back in the day? I don't know. I like kind of the hidden gems like Ron Gant, Sid Bream, Dion, but like Ron Gant is one of those guys that like he never was like the David Justice or like the most popular player, the Fred McGriff and whatnot. But it's like he's like Jay Buhner for my Mariners. You always remember that name. It's not Griffey, it's not Edgar Martinez, not Randy Johnson, but Bones, Jay Buhner. It's kind of like the Ron Gant of the Mariners, and I like guys like that, sleepers. Oh yeah. And then Witherspoon doing big things on the defense there too. Absolutely. Bottom of the third, 0-0. Uh-oh. Yeah. Go, go, go. There we go. There's the first run. Sliding into second, safe. Yes, sir. Alec Bohm with the RBI. Let's go. 1-0 Phillies. Fantastic hitting there by Bohm. Rojas is like, yeah, baby, I'll get in. All right, come on, Bryce. I'm just a fan of greatness. If there's greatness on either team, I'm going to root for it, no matter who it is. But obviously, I want the Phillies to advance because I think they have the best shot to upset a team, and I want to see the best teams move on. Like Miami just barely got in past the Cubs. I'm not sure if they necessarily deserve to be there. But again, someone needs to get in. Kind of like the Minnesota Twins, probably don't deserve to be there, but they got to be able to have a divisional winner. I mean, I would have rather had it Seattle get in over Minnesota, and I imagine the rest of the league would have too. But we just got to be better at the beginning of the year and late in September, and not have such a crazy schedule. So. No problem. I got you. Chopped up, popped up. Damn. End of the third inning, but Bohm gets that key RBI, 1-0 Phillies. No problem. I'll still throw up some more additional photos for you. I got you. And you got a bye week so you can rest up. What are you going to do with a bye week? Now you're just going to have to be just like USC, USC, USC. You're going to have to it's going to take like forever for the Hawks to come back. Bye weeks are tough. Like the Ducks have a bye week, but I got a WWE pay-per-view this weekend, so that's going to hold me over while the Ducks normally would be playing on Saturday. So that's what I got going for me. Maybe you can watch some rugby or some like Kraken or something to kind of hold you over. All right, no problem. All right, we're going to the top of the fourth. Next up is second baseman, 0 for 1, Luis Arise, the best hitter in baseball. He's like the modern day Ichiro. Batting second, 0 for 1 with 1K, DHing for Miami, Jorge Soler. I like him as well. And batting third, first baseman, 0 for 1, Josh Bell. But bringing in Josh Bell and Jake Berger were fucking huge, especially in a rise for Minnesota from the year before. Absolutely. Which I wish more people would show the love and the support. But again, I'm not going to say people are selfish or whatnot, because people can spend the time that they want wherever the hell they want. They can do whatever the hell they want. But we built something pretty special last year, and we just want to be able to continue off that momentum. And it does get to a point where sometimes it gets a little disappointing, where you expect certain people to show up and be in the room, and they're not there. But it is what it is. I mean, it's not like I stream once a week. We stream every day. So you want the Marlins to win. They don't. Yeah, well, of course you want the Marlins to win. You want the easiest path for the Braves to win the World Series, but you also want to be battle tested. So that way, if you end up playing the Astros, you don't have like an easy route there. If it ends up being Braves Dodgers, that's going to be the best thing for the Braves, because that way that you're going to be battle tested, and if you win that, you're going to probably be able to go all the way. I mean, the only team that can beat the Braves in a 7-game series in the World Series is the Astros. Everyone else is only going to win 1 to 2 games. The Astros could win 3 or 4. They're the only team with that Dusty Baker experience. And I'm not an Astro fan through and through. I just know. You know, you got the food coma, too much shrimp. Yeah, but once we get past all these wild card games, then it's going to get really exciting. You know, the deeper that you go, obviously, the more excitement that you're going to get. Obviously, with the NL and the ALDS and the ALCS and the NLCS, I mean, that takes that excitement to another level. But playoff baseball is lit, you know, because every game is important, every pitch is important, you know, and I love it. Just wish the Mariners were there. Hurt. It really hurt not being there. You know, I wanted to be able to have that nice run, but you got to think you're not going to be able to make it, and maybe us making it will help us get Shohei Ohtani or get a couple other pieces that we really need. Mariners never spend money, so hopefully this will be the first year. All right, Soler in the box. 1-2 pitch to Soler. Got him. Zach Wheeler with strikeout number 3. Nice job, Zach. It's a fire photo. I have a lot of pitching photos, but usually none as cool as this one. This one's pretty nice. Yeah, last year he was not rested. He didn't look good. Good at times, but not all the time. Oh, we got Josh Bell. Pitch is low. 3-0 count. I wish. 1-1 count. 7.44 OPS, 247 batting average, 22 homers. And if Josh Bell gets a 3-0 count, it's going to be a homer. 1-1. Chopper towards first. Oh, right past him. Damn it. Good hit. Next up, Jazz Chisholm. Shows bunt for a strike. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Phillies off the Bohm RBI. Rojas comes in. 2 outs, 1 out. All the outs, baby. Let's go. 0-1 pitch to Jazz. Wheeler is on pitch 43. 0-1 pitch. Oh, takes a strike. Yeah, why are we going for a bunt when you have 2 outs? That's stupid. Like, what kind of, you know, managing skills is that? You're the cleanup hitter as like a leadoff hitter, and you're going for a bunt with 2 outs? Pitches outside, 1-2 count. $23 to hit the goal. Yeah, hopefully you can get yourself like a shirt or some slides or something nice. Like I said, I wish I could have gotten you about double or triple of what I ended up sending you, but things have been so light. You know, I have to be able to, you know, try to survive myself, and it's been rough. Got him! 4th K for Wheeler. Nice job. 46 pitches to get through 4 innings. He's raking, baby. All right, next up for the Phillies, 0 for 1, J.D. Realmuto. Batting second in the inning, 0 for 1, right fielder Nick Castellanos. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, second baseman Bryson Stott. Let's go. Did you get anything else besides the shrimp, or did you just do all the different types? Wheeler's been just killing it. Great pitching performance. All right, let's see what JT Realmuto can do. Love catchers. Probably the most underappreciated position, overall in baseball. It's like offensive line. I love it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Like I said, we get a lot of people that maybe have subscribed. Sometimes they look at the videos or the reaction videos. Sometimes they'll come into the live stream. Sometimes people sub and they forget about me and whatnot. But I really do appreciate you very, very much, man. Thank you. And we just hit 20,000 about a week ago. So thank you so much. We got not only your first dono to me, but your second dono to me in the same stream. And it means a lot. Like, genuinely, thank you so much, man, from the bottom of my heart, man. Like, this is my full-time job. I'm not doing this, as for fun or for a hobby, so it does mean a lot. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $10 holla from Lonely Wolf, my guy. I sacrificed a Jordan rookie that's worth 20 to 30,000 for this channel, for the equipment and the iMac and all that. And that was back around like 2017. So I'm in this for the long haul. There we go. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to see for photos, and it could be whatever. It could be food, it could be cars, it could be wrestlers, it could be Atlanta Braves, whatever you like, you let me know, and I got you, man. Thank you so much. What other teams do you root for besides the Atlanta Braves since you were little? You have anybody else that you root for or you like? Appreciate you. $13 until we hit the goal. Castellanos 0 for 1, 272 average with 29 homers in 2023. Pitches inside. 2-0 count. Yeah, and it sucks the Mariners didn't end up making the postseason, because if they would have made the postseason, my numbers would have been pretty fucking good. We probably would have been sitting with like 20 to 60 people in the room pretty much at all times, and then maybe even peaking higher than that at some points, during the playoffs. But we'll have to wait till next year, at least for the Mariners side. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Megan with a 20. She's a goat. Wolf is a goat. You guys are awesome. Thank you. If we could just have more people like Wolf and Megan, support the channel, things would be great. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you for your generosity. Oh, fair ball. Safe. Wow. There we go. Lots of emotion from the Phillies. Let me know what you two want for photos. Just type it in the chat and I got you. 107. Let's get to 2. No worries, no worries. Anything that you do is usually 1,000 times more than most people do ever for me. So, anything that you do whenever you can do it is always going to be greatly appreciated. Because like even some of the heavy hitters and the mods that used to donate on a regular basis or donate heavy really don't do that anymore. So, or they have some financial issues or health issues or whatever it may be. So, anything you do, it's going to really, really help us out a lot. So, if we go back and compare like what we were doing in 2022 to this year, it's a pretty drastic difference. So, okay, I got you. Oh, baby, right up the middle. Oh, oh, got him at home. Damn. Nice throw by Chisholm. I'm gonna have to make my own personal file for you, just specifically like labeled Jaws Megan. So that way I'll have stuff that are already be in here, so I don't have to like find it or search for it. I'll just have the because that's what I do now. Before I never did that. I would just scroll through thousands and thousands of things, right? But then that got too time consuming, and I figured, okay, I'm just gonna make files. So I literally have files of almost like every team with all the players and lineups in there and certain things. So but I'm gonna make the file now because we've done it so many times. It won't be the last time. So, oh, what a hit! RBI, 3-0 Phillies. All right, this will be called Jaws Megan. Jaws Martin Brody Megan. And then I can just add to it every day or whenever, and then it'll just grow. And then eventually I'll have like 50 things in there. Appreciate you. 3-0 Phillies. 4-4 Diamondbacks and Brew Crew. Holy cow. I even got your Funko in there. Oh, Funko Pop. That's the same one that you got. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. The glass is nice. Oh yeah, you can't trust Nola. 100%. I agree with you, Lonely Wolf. Sometimes good, sometimes kind of a little shaky. I agree. Yeah, I'm streaming all the playoffs, bro. I do this full time. Like I said, I do baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, AEW, WWE, UFC, boxing. Like I literally do more. I think as far as just me as an individual compared to any other YouTuber that covers sports or wrestling. I don't know anyone else that does what I do. On top of doing reaction videos and that too. But yeah, I'll be covering Braves. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna do Dodgers for my dad, and it kind of depends on the matchup where I'm going to try to do like the later games. So it's like I could have done the noon matchup between the Rays and the Rangers. That looked like on paper the best matchup, but it's at lunchtime and people are at work. So then it's like, what am I going to get for like views and donos? Probably not a whole lot. So sometimes I got to go with like the late game. So was this like my number one choice game to do on today's slate? No, but I don't mind doing the Phillies, and we'll do a lot of Dodgers and Braves. I want to do some Orioles for sure. And even though that the Rangers and the Astros are my heated rivals, I'll do some of them also. So easy in the building. What's good? Yeah, but I'm gonna stream all the. I did it last year also, so it's nothing brand new. It's like NBA playoffs, MLB playoffs, NFL playoffs, NHL playoffs. I'll be doing a lot of Kraken since the Mariners are out. I'll be doing a lot of Blazers and Bucks. Obviously, since Dame is with Giannis now, and just the good matchups. So obviously, as we get further along, and when like baseball and NASCAR end, then we're gonna transition more into the NBA, college hoops, and then NHL. It's going to be fun. But obviously, football will be the priority on the channel. It'll always be NFL, college football, wrestling, once a month with the pay-per-view. And then obviously baseball playoffs are very important. Yeah, the pinhead would have been a lot of work. Yeah, that's who I want to win too. If I could have my choice, it would be Braves, Orioles, or Dodgers, Orioles for my dad, because my dad's been a Dodger fan since the '50s. We're big Koufax guys, and we both met Koufax when I was 10, and I'm a big Koufax Drysdale guy. I like the old school Dodgers from like the '50s and the '60s. A lot of that old school history. And obviously I met Ken Griffey Jr. when I was 7. So meeting Griffey when I was 7 and Koufax when I was 10, I mean, it doesn't get any better. The best left-handed hitter that didn't do roids or PEDs, the best left-handed pitcher ever, even better than Steve Carlton on the Phillies or Randy Johnson, who's like my second favorite to obviously Ken Griffey Jr. That changed my life forever. If I didn't meet Griffey at 7 in first grade and in fourth grade meet Koufax, like maybe I don't have this channel today. Maybe I am not Northwest Sports Fanatics. There's probably a good chance that I am, but I'll tell you that changed my life forever, like in a positive way. Because at that point, I wasn't really into baseball as much. I liked wrestling and basketball in the 80s and 90s and football. Baseball was kind of like the sport in the background, but I loved collecting baseball cards. That was my thing in the 80s and 90s and the junk wax packs era. You know, but it definitely stayed with me to this day. Philly fans getting rowdy. Bottom of the fourth, 3-0 Phillies. Schwarber in the box. Struck him out. I'm going to get some photos up here for Wolf. First, I got to hit you with a spinning logo, though. We got to make sure we do it right. We'll go back into like the 80, 90 era. Appreciate you, man. 3-0 Phillies, top of the fifth. Okay, I'll get you the Phil Necro here in a second. Good choice. I always like talking about 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s players. I like a lot. I'm like kind of an old soul, so I like that old school era. I got a good one too. Pitch is high. Let's go. Rest in peace. Passed away a couple years ago. One more for you. Popped up. Easy routine play for the Phillies. 1939 and 2020. Rest in peace, Phil. Big swing and a miss to De La Cruz. Top of the fifth, 3-0 Phillies. Marlins need to get some hits. Manufacture something here. A little bit of Uncle Mo. I know 4-4. It's crazy. I like the way Wheeler's pitching. And I like the Philly crowd. Like, you might not like Philly sports. Everyone's got like their own, favorite teams and whatnot. But one thing that, you can't take away from Philadelphia, they're super passionate. Like, maybe the Flyers aren't going to be that good and the Sixers choke. They got Embiid at least. You know what I mean? But definitely the Phillies and the Eagles, that's what it's about for them. Oh, 4-3. Diamondbacks. Man, if the Diamondbacks win that game on the road, so it was 4-4. Now it's 4-3. So did they have some kind of correction? Because now it's showing 4-3 for the game. I'm not watching it. I mean, I was watching it both, but Jake Berger and Josh Bell, big pickups. Highest OPS among players that were traded. Carlos Santana there too. And that's why, when you have that female GM, for Miami, she knew. She looks at stats and analytics. She's like your boy. And she found those gems. It's like Moneyball. You got to find the gems. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a big name either. Fouled off. Oh, I bet. I mean, that's what happens when you eat all the shrimps. Popped up. Remuto. Well, okay. There we go. 2 away. Yeah, and I feel so bad, because obviously, you're normally not used to this. You're not used to struggling in fantasy and whatnot. It shows you like how things look good at first, but then if guys get hurt or they underachieve or they play like shit, it can get really bad really quick and it can start spiraling. Also playing me in the first 4 weeks wasn't ideal either. So yeah. I have so many people on a buy. Even the moves that I want to make this week, I can't. I have to hang on. This is the first week that I'm not going to be making really a lot of moves or maybe even any, just because I need to keep the pieces I have on my bench. They're too valuable. It's like, that 1 week in fantasy where you have like 5 guys on a buy and you're like, shit, what do I do? And you hope that you already, got the players you needed the week before, which I did with Hollywood Brown. So I'm good. But I play Chief O'Chief next week. We're both undefeated. So I need to make sure I have the best possible lineup. I don't expect to necessarily go undefeated all year, but I'm 4-0 right now. So we'll see where it goes. Little chopper, flip to first, got him. Three zip, bottom 5. All right, next up for the Phillies, 1 for 2, shortstop Trey Turner. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI, third baseman Alec Bohm. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, first baseman Bryce Harper. All right, no problem. Thank you so much for your support. Enjoy your lunch. Yeah, but I'm looking at my stuff right now. It's like I got White, Rashad White with a bye, Keenan Allen with a bye, Mike Evans with a bye, Browns D with a bye. And then the only piece I can use is either CJ Stroud or Mahomes. But Stroud's going against at Atlanta, which he can still do good, and Mahomes has got Minnesota, but they're terrible at defense. So Mahomes will play better than he did against the Jets. I know that. And then I'm going to do Warren for the Steelers instead of Ramondre Stevenson. I can't really trust him. And he's going against the Saints defense. And then it's either Laporta or Andrews. It doesn't really matter where I go there. I'm going to go check up on Paisley here real quick while we have just a moment. So give me a sec. I'm going to take a peek unless she's sleeping, and then I'm going to leave her alone. So give me 1 sec. Matt in the building. What's good? How are you, brother? I appreciate you commenting on the reaction videos. And, that's a good place to put in your insight. Like when you see stuff that's in the highlight package, with all the notes that you do, putting it in the reaction video notes in the comment section of all my videos, it's perfect. All right, I'm back. But you have that passion, for being able to explain stuff. Sometimes you just got to be able to find where to put it and where it's actually going to get looked at and people can read it. And I think putting it on the comments of all the reaction videos is perfect. Then you can kind of get your expertise and you can kind of put in your 2 cents there. Either that or creating a Twitter account or X account and then doing stuff there as well. Like finding a highlight package or finding like a highlight or something and then attaching your little verbiage to it. I think that could, be something for you. You just got to be able to find your lane, either finding a highlight and then, doing your own little description underneath it, or finding like a still photo and then writing about a little thing about the game or whatnot. You just got to be able to find places where it can be seen and appreciated. How's the weather in Hawaii today? You had Aaron Rodgers, Nick Chubb, Cooper Kupp. Oh, that's dead. Damn, that sucks. And what could have been, right? Like I normally have Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, and I had Saquon Barkley. I had 3 of the top 5 running backs last year, and I did really well. I went like 13-1. But then this year, I did a different strategy. I did wide receiver heavy, and I went less on the running backs. That's the first time I've done this strategy like ever. And normally I go 3 running backs, RB1, RB2 in my flex, and I try to get 3 of the top 6 running backs and dominate the league, and then make sure I get a good quarterback, good defense, good kicker, good tight end. And then usually with wide receivers, since there's so many, I fill that spot. I usually have one really good one, and then I fill in with the wide receiver 2 in my bench with just guys that are kind of randos, and it's worked for me. But then I decided to flip the script, and I went Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans, and it's been working out like pretty strong for me. My running backs, if you look at the names that I have, they're kind of ass, but I get so many more points everywhere else that it doesn't really matter. So that is rough, dude. Rodgers could have been a top 10 fantasy guy. Chubb could have been a top 3 fantasy guy. And then Cooper Kupp, obviously with the injury, he could have been a top 2, top 3 guy too. That's tough. Yeah, Rodgers trying to come back, but I don't know. I mean, that might be detrimental to his career if he's trying to play next year. Like, what's the record of the Jets going to be when he comes back? Like, it's not going to be good. But I got Mahomes. I got David Montgomery. He's a sleeper. Jalen Warren on the wire that I just have to put in there because I have Ramondre Stevenson normally, but I can't trust him now with the Patriots. So, and then Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown, Bills D, and then Moody. And then this is all like my bye week, my hardest week of all the weeks. I got Ramondre Stevenson on the bench for Jalen Warren. I got Rachaad White on the bench, running back for the Bucks. Keenan Allen on a bye, Mike Evans on a bye, White on a bye, Browns D on a bye, Laporta, and then I got C.J. Stroud, and then Jeff Wilson on IR. So just I snagged him while he was just sitting there. So C.J. for Patrick Mahomes, Laporta or Mark Andrews, Browns D or Bills D, and then I got Evans, Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra for wide receivers, and then Ramondre Stevenson, Rachaad White, Jalen Warren, and David Montgomery. So my running backs are kind of ass. They're the weakest of the position. But if David Montgomery can give me fucking 3 touchdowns once in a while or put up at least, 10 to 15, I was hoping I would get 10 to 15 out of Ramondre Stevenson, 10 to 15 out of Montgomery, and then I wouldn't even have to play Rachaad White at all unless emergency or Jalen Warren. But, running backs have been ass this year. They have not been good. I think if you do have a good running back, chances are you got hurt, and that sucks. Like Chubb, Saquon, like a lot of the guys that were good last year are not good this year. Oh, yeah, they will. Well, their defense is good. Quinnen Williams, and you got Sauce Gardner. You got pieces, there. It's just a matter of you need to figure out, obviously, if Rodgers is the guy and he can stay healthy. But Rodgers playing on that artificial turf, they should just spend like the $3-4 million per team and make grass for every team because anyone that ends up having artificial turf, that's how you end up getting the ACLs and the Achilles. But the NFL owners are too cheap and they don't want to do it. But if they were just willing to do that, it would actually be better because your investments that you're making in these players, if you're spending $50-80 million and you're paying them, why not pay $4 million out of your own pocket? Stop being a bitch, right? And make sure the players don't get hurt. And people will still get hurt with an ACL or an Achilles with grass, but it's not as likely. Like the injuries significantly go down. Like there would probably be like 30% less injuries if every team had grass. But people are cheap as fuck, so that's how it goes. Little blooper. Throw to first. Got him. Go to the top of the 6th. All right, next up for the Marlins, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop John Berti. Batting second, 0 for 1, catching Nick Fortes. And batting third, 0 for 2, the batting crown champion, second baseman Luis Arraez. Surprised that he's not 2 for 2. Zini Panini, it is my Panini. How are you, Zini? Zini's supporting the cause. I appreciate you. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly, doesn't matter. We can talk Eagles all day, every day. Appreciate you, thinking about you. Appreciate you, Zini. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Draft game against the Commandos, and you almost had a heart attack, and it went into OT. Definitely could have lost that game, but sometimes you got to have those close games, to kind of make sure that, you understand that you can't take anyone really for granted, except maybe the Giants. Maybe you can take them for granted, but anytime you play Dallas or Washington, as a Philly fan, you know that they're going to bring it, they're going to bring their Super Bowl effort, to you. Even the Giants will, but they just don't have the personnel. But Washington and Dallas, they do. And let me know what you want to see for photos. You want some Brian Dawkins? I got you. What book are you reading right now? You still reading the same book from yesterday? You playing some video games? What you doing? Yeah, I think with Rodgers, some people love him and some people hate him. I guess it just depends if you like his personality and his swagger, or he rubs people the wrong way, and he's really loved or hated. I think that's a pretty fair statement. So. Let me know what you want for photos, Zini, and I got you. Yeah, but you already know with Ritter, that's only temporary, and they're going to move on from Ritter, and then you're going to get someone better. And check it out. If I'm a Bucs fan, right, and that's the only team I root for other than the Northwest fans because they didn't have defensive players. I'm a defensive-minded fan. So it's like I'm a Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, and then if I'm going to choose an offensive player, it ain't fucking Tom Brady or Gronk. It's Mike Allstott. That's my personality. So it's like for you guys, you got to utilize Kyle Pitts and Drake London. And Bajan is awesome. So you already know you got one of the best running back prospects in the last 10, 15 years. Now, maybe tanking, or maybe if you just naturally just don't win as many games, and then you guys end up getting like Michael Penix Jr. or Quinn Ewers or Shedeur Sanders or someone else in free agency, it'll be better, than Ritter. Ritter is not him. Just like Kenny Pickett is not him. Malik Willis is not him. All these guys, fucking Zach Wilson isn't. He's not good. Trey Lance isn't good. Mac Jones isn't good. It's like Justin Fields is kind of average, but if you take him onto another team, he'll be able to shine like he did the year before. The lack of having David Montgomery is really showing. So really Trevor Lawrence is the only really good quarterback we've had in the last couple of years besides this year's draft class, where it looks like Richardson and C.J. Stroud are going to make it. Bryce Young, it's, they need to improve that team, and I'm not sure if Bryce is going to make it. Unless they really improve, they fire Reich, get a brand new O-line, get some fucking weapons better than Adam Thielen, and beef up the defense. But by the time they do that, Bryce Young might be just obliterated. He might be on crutches. So, and he's a little undersized. And when I look at Bryce Young, I don't feel Drew Brees or Russell Wilson. I feel like he's a guy, but he ain't C.J. Stroud and he ain't Richardson. So we'll see. Hopefully he pans out. But if you guys get a Michael Penix Jr. or something like that, or a Drake, Drake May, that could really be big for Atlanta. But one thing is for sure, Ritter ain't it. Ritter's a good backup, but he ain't the starter, and I think we know that. So you're taking a break. Now you're taking a break from the book. Now you're giving your attention to the oh doggy dog, and I appreciate you. See, that's why we have all these things in common. Exactly. You know it. Yas, Queen, Yas. You know it. 3-0 Phillies. All right, let me get some Ryan Dawkins up here too. And see, you're like me too, because I like Linebackers and safeties, those are my favorite positions in football. Now, do I have a lot of love for corner like Dion? Of course. I love that. Do I like DNs and D tackles? Yes, of course. But if I had to choose two positions that I love the most, it's linebacker and safety, free safety, strong safety. I got a lot of appreciation for O-line as well. It's just an underrated position. They don't get love, and it's like I like rooting for the underdogs and the people that are slept on. I mean, hell, I feel I'm an underdog, so it's very easy for me to relate with underdogs because fuck, I feel I'm one. I get fucking hated on all the time. I just want to be able to hit the algorithm. I just want to be able to take off. Have a fucking video go viral or have fucking proper support. But I know my time's coming. 3-0 Phillies. I gotta hit you with the eagle logo here too. Hold up. All right, here we go. Hold up. There we go. Now Zini's at home. Besides Brian Dawkins, who else do you like? Past or present? They don't make Brian Dawkins. It's like you're not going to be able to find another one. You know what I'm saying? Like you either witnessed Brian Dawkins, or you didn't. They don't make them like that. And the safety position is hella weak now compared to what it was. Like my guy Antoine Winfield Jr. is a top 5 safety, but if you compare him to like John Lynch and Brian Dawkins and some of the OGs like Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu, as much as I love Antoine Winfield Jr. and he's my guy on the Buccaneers, he on the same level as some of those other guys. Now, could he be one day? Yeah, and he's got some same character traits, but it's a little bit different when you're dealing with Hall of Famers. And I do think Antoine Winfield Jr. has a chance to be a Hall of Famer. But I mean, when we're talking about Ronnie Lott and fucking Weapon X and Brian Dawkins and John Lynch and Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu, I mean, Steve Atwater, I mean, it's another type of animal and beast. Reed Blankenship, you want me to throw Reed up? Okay. All right, let me get a couple here. Let me get it prepped. $2 holla. Appreciate you. First time donator, long time subscriber. 3 donos in one stream. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Zini. 3-0 Eagles. See, I caught myself. 3-0 Phillies. I'll pop up one more here. And we'll wait for a commercial break and I'll be able to get a couple more. And obviously, growing up and watching Randall Cunningham, I got to get a better one here. Phenomenal player. If Randall Cunningham was playing today, it would be amazing. He would fit in this type of scheme, in 2023. He would just be awesome. And I love the old school unis too. Wolf with another dono, $2 holla, my boy. Appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $2 holla. Thank you so much. Coming over. The crazy thing is when you bring up a name like Tommy, like 1% of football fans are going to know who that is unless you're a Falcon fan or an NFC South fan. You already gained my respect. Anytime I can end up getting names from people that are like very rare that you would only know if you're a fan of that team or the conference, I like that. And I'm going to hit you with a filthy photo too. Not that kind of filthy. This kind. Let's go. Are you kidding me? I got to get you a Falcon logo though. Hold up. And I even got one from back in the day when he was in college, black and white. You'll appreciate this if you're an OG. Half of my fan base is under 40, half is over 40. So anytime I can look at stuff that's a little bit older, it really makes my kind of heart feel good, because it's like, you get a lot of these people that are, nothing against like people that are Matt's age that are, maybe in their 20s or whatnot. But once you start having an appreciation for the older stuff, it definitely changes you for sure. And then obviously when Matt gets a little older, when he turns 30 and 40, he'll have that appreciation too. Three zero Phillies. Yeah, any fucking throwback names. I mean, I love it. I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm kind of an old soul, even though I may look, decently young, I mean, I feel like with all the reading and everything that I do, I feel that I'm always going to have a personality and energy of a college kid, but as far as like my brain and reading, I'm trying to be like Yoda. I'm like, I can never get enough. I love, love, love watching film and I love, reading every day. I try to get about 4 or 5 hours in every day. And, some people like to read like me and Zini. Some people are, don't like to read as much, but, makes you smarter. And, it's, knowing is half the battle, right? Especially if I'm going to be doing a channel like this, you can't be on YouTube and be a dumbass, because if you're a dumbass, you'll get called out real quick. That's fucking true. I'll get a big play slate for you up here too. So who's winning the Super Bowl this year? Eagles, Niners, or an AFC team? That's the question. Are we going to get Niners, Eagles, NFC Championship game? Or one of those two teams? And then on top of that, what are we getting from the AFC? Is this the year the AFC goes down because Mahomes and they don't have Eric Bieniemy anymore, or Juju, and the Bills might be the representative of the AFC? But hell, if it's the Bills, the fucking Eagles and Niners aren't afraid of Josh Allen. They know he's good with Diggs, but I mean, if the Eagles or fucking Niners get to the Super Bowl, I'm not sure if they're going to be favored, but I would assume they would be, unless the media is like Josh Allen, darling, Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. It's time for the Josh Allen ring. And yeah, Buffalo could win it this year if they get past the Chiefs and everyone else. It is possible. But I mean, if I had to put my money on it, I would assume that the Eagles or Niners would be the smart choice, that they would be the ones that would win this year. The only thing that you have going against you, Zini, is that you already went last year. And it's very hard to go 1 year, lose, and then go back the second year and win. Usually there's like a year separating, a Super Bowl, then like an off year, and then you make it to the Super Bowl in the third year and you win. So maybe it'll be Niners Bills this year, but for the Eagles fans, they hope that it's this year and they can get it done, which it could happen. I mean, history tends to repeat itself, but also history is meant to be broken. So maybe the Eagles can be that team that went to the Super Bowl and lost, but then they can get to the Super Bowl against like the Bills this time and win. All you got to do is get sack lunches and picks, and you're going to win. If you get 0 sack lunches, 0 picks, you're going to lose. So even with the tush push, which hilariously other teams are trying to run, like the Giants, and it doesn't work. You're just going to injure your players. So we fact check. We do. Yeah, but you got to be able to beat the best to be the best, right? If you want to be a champion, right, you're going to have to. The real Super Bowl, and I'll say it right now, the real Super Bowl will be the Niners and Eagles. That's the real Super Bowl. The real Super Bowl ain't going to be the Eagles and the Bills or the Niners and Bills. I mean, they can hype it up like that, but the game will be closer and probably more exciting out of the NFC Championship game or AFC Championship game. That's just how it is. And then when you get to the Super Bowl, it ends up being a blowout because one team is focused and the other one is just outmatched. And a lot of times the Super Bowl doesn't live up to the NFC or AFC Championship game. See, he knows. Big Play Slay knows. He's like, oh, damn, O-Dog knows. He said, all my haters. Shh. You got to beat the best to be the best. You got to make sure you don't have any injuries. Your boy's working. But also, too, it's kind of funny that, two of the fan bases that do support me pretty heavy are Eagles and Niners. And also, ironically, if I wasn't a Buccaneer fan, I probably would have been a Niner fan. But I didn't want to hop on that wagon. I didn't want to be like, look at me, Joe Montana, 4 Super Bowls, by the time I was, 7 years old. And then I got one in 94 with Steve Young. But I told myself and I told other people, I was like, dude, I don't think the Niners are ever going to win again. Or if they do, they're not going to win for like 30 or 40 years until they get the right coach, which they finally now have in Kyle Shanahan. But they've gotten there with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they've gotten there, with Colin Kaepernick, but they just didn't have that quarterback like Steve Young and Joe Montana. And maybe Brock Purdy isn't like those guys either, but he's better than Kaepernick. Brock Purdy's also better, than Jimmy Garoppolo. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes. Oh, well, fuckload, almost 50 points for McCaffrey. Slaying the competition, Zini. Nice job, Phillies. Number 7 for Zach Wheeler. He's balling. Nice job, Zach. Zach is as dope as this photo. Pristine. I'll check. I don't think we have anything on Cash App, but if we do, that would be great. Cash App has been so fucking light as of late. I don't know why. I guess it just depends on the people and whatnot, but but obviously any type of donation is so appreciated. You get the super chat, you get that a month later, and then they take out their percentage. So if someone donates like 100, it'll turn out to be like 60, 65 like a month later. And then the Cash App is more like instant and whatnot. And sometimes you just need to be able to survive, especially if I don't have any other income coming in. But I know eventually I'm going to get people like Cyberpunk who never donates, through the super chat anymore because he knows how desperately I need to be able to like survive, pay bills, take care of Paisley. So most people that will donate when they know where I'm at, usually they'll go that option first, depending on if they have a Cash App account. Yeah, like I was telling Sarah, Sarah had a really good team last year and a good draft with me last year, but I was letting her know she didn't make enough moves last year. But with that being said, she was able to get carried by a strong 7, 8 pieces where she didn't really have to make a whole lot of moves, didn't have any injuries. But then this year, the injuries just came. I mean, like every Burrow played like shit, Chubb went out, like all her players got hurt, and now she's sitting at 0-4, where normally she'd be 4-0. And it shows how brutal and cruel fantasy can be, even if you are intelligent and you know football. All it takes is a couple players to play like shit, or you don't get enough guys on the wire in the first 3 weeks. Because if you look on our wire now, there's not a lot there. The first 3 weeks, there was a shitload there. I scooped them all up. I've already made almost 40 moves, and I typically make like 100 to 200 a season. But once it gets to like week 4 and beyond, then the wire typically is thin, and you have to wait for people to drop really good players because they have a need of somewhere else in a different position, and then you can get players that way. But it happens. Oh, nice hit by Bell. Bell is safe. Another $2 holla, 4 donos in one stream by someone that has been a long time subber, but a first time donator. Appreciate you. $2 holla. Mike Keen. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. See if I can find a good one. No, dude, keep it, dude. Make a fucking novel of it. Fucking write whatever the hell you want to write. You have so much information that you want to share based on route running and based off wide receivers and tight ends, right? And when you type it in the chat, sometimes it goes over people's heads and they don't care. You put it in my reaction video, people are going to look at it. I'll look at it. People will see it. Some people will like it. Some people will thumbs up it. Some people will read it and not thumbs up it. But if you're looking to put your information, putting it in the reaction video, even if it's a fucking novel, do it. I'm letting you know, do it, right? And if you're not going to do that, I'll create a Twitter or X account and then have a highlight, and then do your little blurb attached to it. I'm giving you, things that will be, it'll help you get more successful. It's like when I was telling fucking Rooftop, that he's going to be streaming with me, Mariner Tales. Like, it's like DuckTales, woo! It's better though, right? It's all Mariner stuff. So if you're looking for like content, Mariner Tales, and you have that nice little teal blue, and then all you do on each video is you find like epic stories of the Mariners, and you either read it from a book, or you find video and then you narrate it. I'm an idea guy. I'm always looking for ideas. I've always been an idea person ever since I was little. You just have to think outside the box and not think like everyone else. Fuck what everyone else thinks. Do you? So, big facts. All right, let me see if I can find Mike Kean. But those are the places that you should put the information. You put it here in the chat, like when we're doing a baseball game and you're talking about wide receiver routes, people aren't going to give a shit. I'll give a shit and I'll look at it. But as far as everyone else, they're not going to give a shit. And it's not that they don't give a shit about you. It's just that they're not going to give a shit about something football related in route running when we're watching a baseball game. You feel me? It's like you gotta. It's like knowing your surroundings and what's going on. You know what I mean? But if you do it like on the comments in the videos, that's a perfect place to fucking write a novel and give your 2 cents. Or doing it on Twitter, attaching it to a highlight that you found or a picture, of what you're talking about. You feel me? There's a time and a place. You just have to know where it is. And then you might actually be able to get a little bit of a following, if you started doing something like that as well. I mean, if that's something that you want to do. Got him! Wheeler. It's kind of a little grainy, but still. Yeah, unfortunately, when you get like throwback players like back then, I mean, there's not a whole lot there. You try to find them, but a lot of them won't format, or they're like, or it's like a Getty image or something else like that. So 131. Let's get to two. Yeah, of course. He's like my little brother. You know what I mean? I got to be able to help him out, and you just got, and I already knew. And the funny thing is we never talked on the phone or we never like interacted on stream until literally 5 minutes before the stream started. He came into the stream, I gave him the link, and before we went live, we talked, and I was like, oh, this is gonna work. I was like, pretty much if you don't, if we don't talk over each other that much and we keep it flowing, it'll be good. And I was like, we probably have a lot more in common than and yeah, it worked out really good. He's entertaining, I'll be entertaining. It's a good collab. Oh shit, Alex Manoah. Damn, yeah, he like had to go to fucking AAA. He was really good last year, but it shows you just because you're good last year doesn't mean you're gonna be good this year. God damn, Jake Berger running like he was gonna go get some fucking burgers. Look at him hustle the first. God damn, Jake. I need that killer burger, that peanut butter pickle bacon burger. And they came out with the top 100 spots in America for taco joints. I'm crazy about food and whatnot. And Oregon actually had a few of them. I think they had like 5 or 6 in Oregon. I'm like, no way. And I had one that was ranked in the top 100. It actually was ranked number 1 taco joint in Oregon like 3 years ago. And that was like 5 minutes from my old place when I was with the ex or whatever and stuff. And thank God I don't live there anymore. But that taco joint is good. But there's another place that's actually like 5 minutes from where I am here, and it's like a food truck. And all of them are straight up from Mexico, and they have all their Mexican spices and everything. And it got awarded as like the top place. And I've never been there. And I read the article this morning. You know where I'm going? I'm going there. Oh baby, I'm gonna get the taco. And oh my God, the pictures. And like food trucks are a big thing in Oregon. Like they're all over the place now, but Oregon is one of like kind of the states that kind of started it. Especially like in downtown Portland before it got too crazy with like the homeless and the bums and the crazies. Like there was a couple areas in downtown where they would have blocks of just boom, 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 food cart next to food cart next to food cart, like 20 or 30 of them. So it's like boom, you want to have Chinese food, boom, pizza, boom, burger, biscuits and gravy, boom, pancakes, boom, like you whatever you wanted, Indian food, boom. And so people would be faded, going up from the dance clubs and bars or whatever, whatever you're doing, or you're just dropping in. And a lot of these places will be open all night long. So these people are just grinding because they know, people that are drunk or faded or people that are sober, they're hungry. And, when you get something at like 4 a.m., where everywhere else is closed, you can't go to McDonald's or, any other place. And you can get something that's going to taste better than any other restaurant that's open during the day. That's what I'm talking about. I like places like that. And the food is amazing. Like almost most places that have a good reputation, the food is like a 9 or a 10, regardless of what it is, because you get these people that either are immigrants or people that travel from one state to another and they bring their recipes here. Like they want to give you Texas barbecue. Then they move from Texas, like Austin, and then they get a food cart in Portland or Beaverton, and then they post up, and then they make shitloads of money because there's nothing out here like that. It's fucking brilliant. You just got to know where to go. Just like I was telling you, Matt. Reflect in the building. What's good, brother? Oh, yeah. Zini and O-Dog eating tacos. Yes. Love me some tacos. Street tacos. It's like heaven. I can go for a good chip, though, too. Like, when you go to certain Mexican places and they got the good chip with the dip. Oh, safe. Waffle House at 3. You know it, man. I don't need to explain anything to Lonely Wolf. He knows. Chicken and waffles. I mean, there's a place in Seattle, Sisters and Brothers, and literally it's the only chicken spot. I would drive 3 hours to go eat there. Now, if I ever get like rich, or like I said, when I get rich, like instead of going to games, I would be like, okay, I'm going to fly to Maine for 2 days. All I'm going to do is go on the water, find the best restaurant, eat crab and shrimp and lobster and crispy shrimps and all that, and then I'm going to fly back home. Or I'm going to go to Texas and eat barbecue for a night or two and then fly back. Like, do I want to go sightsee and go to games and see artwork and go to museums and do? Yeah, of course I want to see that stuff. But if I can actually go places and go travel to see food and go see the spices and the flavor town, I would rather do Flavor Town and be rich and document that. Like if I have a cameraman, and then all of a sudden I can be like a foodie where I can, either go to stadium places and get stadium food, but like before that or after that, be able to go places where they have the good beer or where they have the good food. Like I've always wanted to go to Nolans for like the po' boys and the gumbo. I always watch like Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri, and I'm addicted to like the food shows. It doesn't matter what it is. The Next Level Chef, Master Chef Junior. I like the ones with the kids too, because it's like I'll watch it and I'm like in disbelief. I'm like, how is this 8-year-old better than 90% of Americans in America? Like legitimately, like they're making like restaurant quality food, and then they interview him. He's like, "Yeah, my name's Dylan. I've been cooking since I was 1. I've been cooking with my grandma." And they're like, "How old are you, Dylan?" "I'm 8." But he's got 7 years in the kitchen. It's like, how the hell you been fucking in the kitchen since 1 or 3? But they are, and you can tell. And they're hands on. And if you're hands on, you're gonna be fucking awesome. And then you get those people that win, and they're fucking like 11. What do you think is going to happen by the time they're 20? They're going to have their own restaurant, or they won the competition. They know Gordon Ramsay. They have all the plugs. It's like, like that's one thing that like I feel that I could be much better at. But if I could have like one skill that I don't have, it would be to be like them. So that way I could cook anything and I wouldn't be like intimidated. A lot of it's patience, and getting the right ingredients and going through it, and not rushing things. But to be able to have that natural talent as like The Bear, great show. If you haven't watched The Bear, obviously you know what that is about. Lip, I mean, you already know what it is. That show made me cry. That show made me get excited. That show got me to like root for Richie and for being a piece of shit, and then actually being like a good dude, taking care of his daughter and loving her, but then also understanding why he was a piece of shit and wanting to be better. That shit is awesome because it makes me feel like you can be a bad person and you can be in the gutter and you can be a bad, like, just like treat people bad and be a shit talker, but then kind of have like an epiphany and realize I don't need to be this way. Why am I being this way? And then you actually meet the right people in your life, and then you can actually do like big things. Love that show. If you guys are looking for a cooking show, documentary type of sitcom, it's like they label it as a comedy, but it's a drama. It's definitely. But the cool thing about that show is everyone is cool in that show. Like there's like 5 characters that you can follow, and you're invested in everyone. Very, very good show. 3-1 Phillies. Oh, Sephora. The sweater. Yuli Gurriel, the former Astro in the game. The old spaghetti factory. Yeah, I love making some pasta too. But I've been like on this like diet. So it's like I've been walking about 2 hours a day with Paisley. So it's like I'm not eating really like burgers or pizza or tacos or pasta, like the shit that I love. Runners advance. Uh-oh. Top of the 7th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Super Stack Heart Attack Burger at the Vortex in Atlanta. Sounds like it's got my name on it. But like besides eating at sporting events, like if I could actually get to a point where I was like rich, had like a cameraman come with me or camera woman, and I could go to different places and we could, do like a vlog, like a video log of like, rating the items and giving you like up close, or even going behind in the kitchen and meeting like the owner or doing some stuff like that. Got him. That would be awesome. But I'm a foodie through and through, and it's been tough. Like I've lost like 60 pounds since COVID, and it took a lot because, for me, it's hard for me, like a lot of y'all probably too, to eat the normal portion. Sometimes we eat and we can't move. And that's the problem. That's how you end up sometimes gaining too much weight. It's like instead of eating until you're satisfied and then maybe eating a little bit later, it's like you're eating and then you get like you can't move, and then you do that over and over and over 3 meals a day, and if you don't exercise that much, then you start gaining weight. And then if you drink a lot of beer or you're partying, and then all of a sudden, you feel like you're in decent shape, and then you're overweight, and you're like, this sucks. And you got to have the discipline. And if you can have the discipline to be able to eat a little bit and then be able to exercise, see, that's the one thing that, to balance what I've learned. If I didn't have Paisley, I probably would be overweight still right now. But knowing that I have a pup that needs to be walked, like an American Staffordshire Terrier, which is kind of like a pity, there is no can't walk the dog. I don't feel like it. That doesn't work. She'll look at you and whine and moan, and she'll give me the eyes, and it's like, if you don't, walk a dog like that, you're a terrible person. Like, you have to do it. So it's definitely gotten me in shape, and we have a nice bond, me and her. And like I said, I owe my life to her. Honestly, I think she saved my life. I saved hers. And sometimes you just need to be able to dig down and dig deep, and that way you can eat whatever the hell you want once in a while. I can go crazy like once a week. You know what I mean? But I can't go crazy all the time. So, but trust me, there are times where I'm like, oh man, it'd be so good to be able to have like some deep dish pizza or some tacos. But doing like a lot of fried vegetables, yakisoba, or like rice, and then something on the side, but like just like smaller portions and whatnot. So all the Cash Apps, all the donos. Yeah, and I appreciate you donating yesterday, Reflect. And out of the $100 dono, I think it's going to come out to about 60-65, and I'm going to give all of that to Sarah from the dono that you did yesterday. So not like I'm going to keep it myself. Me and Sarah are on a good vibe and a good relationship. If people donate to me and it's meant to go to her, it's going to go to her. I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, the money's mine. Like I said, I gave her, a little gift, today. I wish I could have given her a little bit more, dollar wise, but Cash App has been super light as of late. But I'm gonna definitely get that to her next month, obviously when that comes through. So, but we do appreciate those big donos when we get them. When we get 50s, 100s, 200s, 500s, and then the biggest dono we got was 1,300 from Shep, and hopefully we'll get another one of those at some point. That would be awesome. So, I assume that you meant the dono was for her. I know it was like a happy birthday message, but even if it was for me, I was still going to give the dono all to her. It's like we only have a birthday once a year. I mean, like I said, and even though this is my full-time job and I've been struggling a little bit with the donos and whatnot, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at without her. And I know that. She knows that. And, I always make sure I tell her good job every night. I appreciate her. And I know a lot of mods don't get that kind of treatment. And there's a lot of mods that get taken advantage of on YouTube because the person is such a big, sub count person. And I feel that they lose touch with reality. And they think they're so big and they're so famous, and they lose touch on like who's helping them continue to get bigger and bigger. And I feel a lot of these mods get taken for granted. And one thing on my channel, they will never, ever get taken for granted. They will always get the thank yous and the appreciations. And if I'm lying, Sarah will tell you. They'd be like, oh, he doesn't say thank you to me every night. I always do. It's a part of who I am. Regardless if we have a good dono day or we have a terrible dono day and we're at zero. We'll bitch and complain and moan to each other sometimes, but then other times it's just like, we did the best that we could, and then tomorrow is another day, and then we go back at it. So, and we do appreciate everybody in the room. You guys make this channel what it is, and I wouldn't be where I'm at without you. Just like I wouldn't probably be here without King Griffey Jr. and Sandy Koufax, and I wouldn't be where I'm at without you guys here as well. The 20K and beyond is because of you guys, and I love you guys for it. And you got to think, I've went through a lot of trials and tribulations. I had a partner I recorded with. He quit. Thought he was better than me. Work ethic wasn't there. He's like, oh, I'm going to record on my own channel. I'm going to record every day. And it literally took like 9 months off and just started recording again. So, I mean, if you have that type of work ethic, and you're average and you're going to have an average work ethic, then you're going to get average results, and we're not average here. We're fucking fanatics. So, you live and you learn. I appreciate that. And hopefully, with my character and Sarah's character, that more and more people, once we hit the algorithm, that we can be like some of the other bigger channels where we can hit 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, because I know some people, when they say it, it's not going to happen, or it's like a pipe dream. But with us, I truly, in my heart, feel that with who I am and the sacrifices that I've made and the people that I have that are a part of the channel, including you, Reflect, and Sarah, Matt, and everyone else, Zini, that it's going to happen. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. Because I honestly feel that we are one of the best on planet Earth. I feel we are one of the best channels on YouTube, period. Sports related, life related, real being real, real recognizes real. And I feel that we are one of the best channels. I'm one of the best on in the world at what I do, And if we weren't, then we wouldn't have people stealing our fucking material. Peter Schrager wouldn't be stealing shit from his channel. EA Sports and Madden wouldn't be watching, right? If we weren't good, they wouldn't be stealing. So the biggest form of flattery is stealing your shit, right? Even though it makes us mad. But I really do appreciate that. And I know a lot of people have never donated before to a channel or have donated as big as they have. And like I said, I love building the relationships with you guys. And honestly, the donos are great. The 20,000 subs is great. But I'll be very, very honest. The relationships that I've gotten from the channel is more worthwhile to me, than the actual channel itself. Now, this is my dream and this is my goal. And the main things that are important to me are my family, Paisley, you guys, and this channel. I mean, I didn't sacrifice a Jordan rookie or 30 grand for nothing, right? Otherwise, I'd have, probably a house or a Lambo or something crazy, or invested into a business. Maybe I would have invested in Northwest Sports Fanatics Bar and Grill. That's another goal of mine that I want to do before I die. First I want to open up a YouTube studio here in Oregon to make other people's dreams come true, especially kids. Whether it be TikTok or YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is. And then after that dream gets accomplished, then I want to be able to open up a bar and grill. But I only want it to be like Southern food, and kind of like Southern style, Alabama, Atlanta, chicken and Southern comfort food. And then I don't want to have chairs. I want to have couches, video games, Xbox, PlayStation, and then obviously flat screens everywhere with all the games. So that's like, and I've had that dream, for like long time. I mean, I've had those three things in my back pocket for like probably the last 12 years. So, sometimes you got to dream big, to be able to have things happen. So I appreciate that. Now, I feel like I got the knowledge, I got the passion, and I have an advantage over everybody else too. I did phone sales for 20 years and I worked in some of the most cutthroat companies, like Verizon, working with people that live in Boston and New York, business owners. And you got to understand, if you're calling a business owner in Boston and New York and you sound like a fucking idiot, you're going to get hung up on in the first 2 seconds. Like, they got to know your voice. They got to respect you. They got to like you. They got to trust you. So it kind of like molded me to who I am today, and I worked for a Fortune 500 company when I was 17. And I even quit varsity basketball as a starting point guard to go into sales. So a lot of my Canby friends in high school got mad because we were a playoff team. I transferred from Aloha to Canby. I was going to be the starting point guard. I probably missed out on a lot of opportunities with girls, parties, and other things because I decided to walk away from basketball in my senior year at starting point guard and do sales. But I just knew my voice was, in sports and sales was going to be kind of like my thing. And then I took a risk, and I had two dudes, Derek and Fong, that were kind of like stoners, but they were really smart. And they were like, we're going to work here together, the three of us. We're going to fucking dominate. We're going to learn from these other people. And literally, it was the #1 sales location in Lake Oswego, Oregon. They had 2 in every state. So there was like 100 True Green Chemlons. And out of the 100 locations, and there was 2 in every state, 1,000 sales reps. The #1 sales rep worked where I worked. So I just picked his brain. And then at that point, it molded me to who I am today, NWSF. Trey Turner in the building. Bottom of the 7th, 3-1. Ooh, was that a walk? Oh, they walked him. Ooh, baby. And I feel like I said, there's a lot of people out there that can stream, but not everyone is genuine. Not everyone is real. And you can definitely tell the aura and the vibe from certain people compared to others. Some people are in it strictly for just the money, which is a good chunk. Others have other intentions. Brewers down 4-3 at home, too. Telling you, Corbin Carroll. I'm always going to represent the Northwest guys, and it doesn't surprise me. He came up big. Why can't Julio be like Corbin Carroll and come up big in the clutch moments? I mean, I think Julio will, but it may take him a couple more years to get more patient in the box. Defense, out in the outfield, great. Robbing home runs, great. Stealing bags, great. The only thing he needs to work on is not getting down 0-2 every fucking time in the box. And maybe bringing in a Shohei Ohtani, he'll teach him. Listen, Julio, I'm Shohei. Stop swinging at that shit. Stop being an idiot. Work the count. 3-1, bro, not 0-2. And then Julio's like, oh, yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should take walks. Maybe I should get on base instead of trying to swing for a fucking home run every time. Oh, yeah, maybe I should. And then that's when Julio will turn into like an MVP candidate. But he ain't there yet. 3-1 Phillies. Oh, runner goes. Safe at second. Yeah, like I said, if you love route running and wide receivers and tight ends, why don't you go and find like some film on YouTube of the guys each week, like a Baldy breakdown, and then do a video on that. And you don't even have to show your face. You just have to be able to narrate, if you're shy on camera and whatnot. Not everyone can be on camera. Boom, retired. All right, let's go to the 8th inning. Before David Ortiz was David Arias when he was on the Twins. Can you imagine if they Twins still had him, but then he obviously switched his name and then everything flipped? And like I was telling you, bro, like you got a lot of knowledge and passion for like wide receiver, tight end, route running stuff. You just got to be able to put it in the right spot. Because like I was saying, when we're doing a baseball stream and you're doing like a novel in the chat, people aren't going to care. But if you do it on Twitter or X, or if you do the comments on my reaction videos, people will look at that. And then hopefully at some point my reaction videos will hit the algorithm. Right now I'm only getting about 1 or 2 that are hitting the algorithm, But again, some of the people that do reaction videos, they like to see people scream and yell, and they're not really giving any stats or anything like knowledgeable. It's pretty much entertainment purposes where you watch an idiot scream and yell, and people watch that person and they like that. They say funny things, or they make up stuff that's not true, and they just try to act a fool. I don't know. If that's something that people like to do, that's fine, but that's not for me. I ain't watching that. That's a waste of time for me. That's like watching Skip and Shannon or some of these other Get Up programs. It's a waste of time, unless it's Good Morning Football or Pat McAfee show. So, and then the AAA. Oh, look who it is. My boo is here. Hi, my boo. The Paisley Pup. Yeah, and like I said, it's one of those things. I think also with like dogs and cats and whatnot. If someone cannot accept you because of your relationship with your pet, like sometimes people don't realize that like you know pets can save your life, like legitimately, and sometimes you get into a very dark place, and you need to be able to have comfort there and whatnot. And like I said, with my ex that I lived with, obviously back there. Did not appreciate her, and I'm really lucky that I was able to actually get Paisley full time. And then obviously, the last the girl Erica that I was dating gave up on us because of Paisley, and my schedule here on YouTube. So, sometimes when you end up, meeting someone, it looks like it's going to work out and things are going to be good. But if they can't accept who you are, it's just not going to work out. I mean, if you can't accept like my schedule and for what I'm doing, or you can't accept my dog, like it's not going to work out. So sometimes you have to be single and wait for the right person, or maybe wait for someone that also has similar goals or dreams, or someone that also has pets that kind of understands. Because I mean, if you don't have that closeness, to a cat or a dog, then you don't understand. It's a different type of feeling. Oh, okay. How cute is that? And I imagine it's changed your life too with Bandit, because you got Bandit when I got Paisley around the same time. So, and that was Holly when she was thinking about getting a dog. If she didn't have so many cats, I think a dog would have been the best thing for her, because if you actually have some like animal to give you that love and that attention and you can spend time with it, as long as you're willing to put in that effort and that energy, it can really change your life for the better. Like, I was in very, very dark places, and I feel that like with you guys and having therapy and being able to talk on here and being real, and then also having Paisley, it's really changed my life for the better. All right, we'll show Sarah's pup Bandit. Yeah, and also too, sometimes it's better to be single and by yourself and be happy than being in a relationship where you're being taken advantage of, cheated on, or disrespected. Oh, look at that. A little bandit in your life. Cutie. A black and white cat named Punk. Is it because of CM Punk or you like punk music? I like music of all kinds. I got friends that like a little bit of everything. I mean, look at Jimmy Butler. Hell, he even dressed up emo for his photo shoot for the Heat. Top of the 8-3-1 Phillies. Little furry demons, but you love them. So, out of your four animals, what do you have for your four animals, Zini? Is it like two cats and two dogs, or what are the animals? I've seen pictures of the dogs that you showed me. Two away. Because he's a punk. He bit me when he was young, and I called him a punk, and it stuck. What kind? What kind of cat? Is there a certain breed of cat? He's like, I don't know what it is. It's just a black and white cat that bit the shit out of me. I said, punk ass Beezy. And then, Row, and then you're like, yep, you're punk. Yeah, Paisley doesn't, she's the sweetest thing ever. And she like understands me too. It's like kind of like a human. Like I'll look at her and I'll tell her, like, dad's got to work. I want you to go to the couch and I want you to go lay down and take a nap. And she'll look at me and she literally will do it. And then I'll go into the living room thinking that she'll be like playing with her toys or doing something else. And she'll literally be like sitting there on the couch, and then I'll put a blanket on her and I'll cover up like a burrito. We have a very, very special bond. Like I feel like the bond that I have with Paisley is stronger than any bond that I've had with any human besides like my family. Like it's crazy. Two kitties, two doggies. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that it was two cats and two dogs. But last time that we talked, I'm pretty sure that that's what you told me. And I try to remember things like reading and video games. Your boy remembers. I remember things about the people I care about. I remember the things that people tell me. 3-1 Phillies. Top of the 8, 2 outs. Another pitching change. Tuxedo cat, white and black, and a calico orange, black and white. Orange, black and white. See, for me, I've never really been a cat person. It's not like I don't like them. I just never owned one. For me, it's like I've always had like a dog. Like I had a Samoyed, which is like a husky purebred. We had it for like 20 years, and I ended up getting kind of sick, and we had to put it down and whatnot. But it used to pull me in a sled, here in the neighborhood when I was little and whatnot. And it was a very, very sweet dog, but we had it like kind of outside and like I was telling like my family, it's like, we need to be able to like treat the animals better. And it's like when you have an animal that's like outside and then you have an animal that's inside, you can actually love that animal more. Yeah. Is there going to be hair everywhere? Yeah. Is there going to be more cleaning to do? Yes. but the attention and love and what you feel, the relationship that you're going to have with that animal is going to be like so much better. And I almost was like, this is a way for like some of the family to make up for how they treated the original dog to like how we treat this dog. And like that way it's not like chained up in a doghouse where we can actually interact and love it and massage it and spoil it with strawberries and blueberries and watermelon and take Paisley on 4 walks a day. And you know, it's like you start to figure out like what's important in life. And a lot of times people think that so many things are so important, money and all these other things, this job, but sometimes it's just pets and family and good friends. Sometimes that's really all you need. Oh, Call of Duty. Well, I know what you're going to be playing. I got to close the drapes here. It's getting dark over here. All right, man. Lonely Wolf, thank you so much for being a longtime subba and a 4-time donator tonight. You really do mean a lot to me. I appreciate you very, very much. I look forward to seeing you. Now I know that you're a Braves fan, so I'll have a bunch of Braves shit queued up for you. And I know that you're a Falcon fan, so we'll go back in the past and we'll be able to have a good laugh and be able to go through some of the old school players. You have a great rest of your night. Appreciate you. All right, we're in the top of the 8th, 3-1 Phillies. Jorge Soler in the box. Got to watch out for Soler. He's dangerous. Like all of a sudden, you think you can pitch him in the zone and he'll hit a homer on you. Trust me, I know because I'm a Mariner fan. He did it to us. Wolf out. And I don't know when my shirt and lanyard are coming, but hopefully they'll come pretty soon. And I appreciate you. I think it's one of those things that we've always kind of looked out for each other too, Zini. No matter things are going good, bad. I actually went through like the Twitter X thread that like we've already been like talking and being friends for like a long time. It's already been since like 2018 or 2019 or something. So it's like we've already been communicating and on the channel and everything for like 4-5 years, even though it hasn't really seemed like it's been that long. But time flies. Like sometimes you think, oh, oh, I've known this person for like a year, and then you start going up on the thread and be like, damn, like we've kind of known each other for a while. Yeah, and we need to get the female representation higher on the channel too. We got it all the way up to like 10 to 15% last year, and then we've had a few of the females that have dropped off. Hopefully, they'll be able to come back. But it's always better to have more females on the channel. And I think we were at like 10 to 15. I think we're down to like 5 now. So hopefully we can get that up instead of having it be 95% dudes and 5% chicks. We can get the females up on the channel. Got him. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th. Any photos that you guys want to see while we're waiting, just holler. I can throw up whatever. It could be football related, Eagles stuff, Zini, anything you want. Richardson, Sarah, Colts for your birthday. It's your birthday. I mean, whatever you want me to throw up, let me know. I got you. Mark in the building. What's good? Yellowstone, great show. And we're getting into the kind of like the fall lineup of shows too, because usually there's a spring lineup and a fall lineup. But like I said, I got cable that's in like the living room, but a lot of times I'm doing like, Netflix, but Netflix is usually kind of shitty. Have you guys noticed that too? Like they usually don't have anything worth watching until like a big show comes out, and then it's like a couple months of like barely anything. Like I would rather do like Hulu. I think even Disney Plus is better than Netflix most of the time. I do like Amazon Prime. I think Prime and Hulu probably get watched the most and whatnot, but I don't know. I think sometimes Netflix is like overrated. Like I like it, but sometimes it's like there's not anything on there. You look at the top 10 movies, the top 10 highest rated, and like when I look at the top 10, I see like one thing that I might watch, unless it's like something like Stranger Things, and then my life takes over. You know? I don't know. D-backs, baby. All right, I got to get the Colts logo here. Give me a sec. Bryce, there we go, Bryce. Yeah. We gotta get Sarah some photos for her birthday today. Happy birthday, BIRFFF day. She had some shrimp, little shrimpies from the Red Lobster, which is a great choice. I think like Olive Garden or Red Lobster is like a fantastic choice. Good choice for like dinner, you know. Oh, snap. There he is. AR. CJ Stroud and him are going to pan out. Bryce Young, I don't know. It's like, how good would Bryce Young do if he was on the Colts? How would he do if he was on the Texans? So that's the real question. I don't think we really know that. He's just a little too undersized for me. I think they might have made the wrong pick, honestly. But also, too, I think that on the Panther roster, I think both quarterbacks, CJ and Anthony would have struggled on Carolina, though, because they don't have a lot in the air to work with. But once they get more weapons, then we'll figure out if Bryce Young was going to pan out or if he's going to bust. I got one more for you. Appreciate you. Happy birthday. And he's exciting. He's like the most exciting big quarterback since Cam Newton. You know what I mean? So, you got something going there. Now it's just about developing the O-line, getting more wide receivers and tight ends, and beefing up that defense. So. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a hit. Yeah. Go, go, go. Run your ass off, Bryce. Go, baby, go. Yes, sir. Home safe. Let's go. Bryce getting 150% effort. He might be a villain, you know what I mean, to some people, but I fucking like him. I've always liked him. Let's go. 4-1 Phillies. From first all the way home. That's a hell of an effort. Let's go. Yes, Mark, I agree. And most people didn't realize that he was almost at 50 homers. He was at like 47. Unbelievable. That was really, really big too. Good extra insurance run. But I don't think anyone thought Miami was going to beat Philly in this wild card. So let's go, baby. Scott in the box. Bottom of the eighth, 4-1 Phillies. Yeah. Well, there's a few people I think in baseball and basketball, that kind of fit that mold as well. Like Patrick Beverly in basketball. That guy is a pest. Like if he's on your team, you love him, but if you're like going against him, you're like, fuck that guy. Big swing and a miss. Got him. 2 away. Nice job, Bryce. Always hustling, man. Love it. Let's go, he says. I just hope that Shohei Ohtani comes to Seattle. That's really what and then we need to replace Ty France with a better first baseman. But I mean, if Shohei Ohtani comes to Seattle, I don't know what the hell I'll do. I'll lose my goddamn mind. But it sucks that he can't pitch with that UCL. So the Trevor Bauer thing, yeah. So he went to Japan, and then even though the allegations seem to be false, maybe the woman was trying to extort some money and whatnot, but also Bauer has some kind of shaky tendencies of being kind of physical, with men and women. So maybe they were lying on him on that particular instance. But Bauer seems like the type of guy that might have done something shady in the past or in the present. So, and I know some people were like, "Oh, let's get Trevor Bauer and whatnot," power hour, Bauer outage. But I don't know, man. With me, I need to read a little bit more and see more of the facts that come out. But it seems like to me, if you're willing to do something once, like you're a cheater, you're going to do it again. If you're going to be putting hands on a man or a woman, you're probably going to do it again. It's like either you do it or you don't. And sometimes, people lose their cool and it's a one-off thing where you get in a fight and things get heated and you do something absolutely wrong, where like a girl punches a dude in the face or a dude pushes a girl when he shouldn't, But I don't know. He doesn't really seem like a very good dude to me. I don't know him. I have to read a little bit more and get more facts, but I know if the Mariners had a chance to get him, I wouldn't want him. Not on Seattle. If he wants to go somewhere else, that's fine. But I got to be able to kind of look at his pattern and whatnot, and I don't know. Seems kind of like a shady dude. Like some parts of him are good, and then other parts I'm like, I don't know if I really believe you. Are you real, or are you kind of fugazi? 4-1 Phillies. And obviously, the Brew Crew, the Brewers, are in depression mode because if the Diamondbacks are going to come in there and win, that's not good because Milwaukee and Philly were probably the two teams. But now it makes you kind of wonder, shit, if the Diamondbacks get hot and the Phillies get hot, are the Braves and Dodgers in trouble? And the answer is yeah. Even though the Braves are the best team, the Dodgers are the team that could lose. I'm not sure about the Braves. But again, we thought the Braves and Dodgers were going to make it last year, and the Phillies represented the National League. So anything is possible. Anything's possible in the American League too, except probably the Twins making it to the World Series. That would be the craziest shit ever. What would be the craziest scenario? Miami and Minnesota? That would be like the craziest shit. So we know that's not going to happen. But I love me some Corbin Carroll. Plus, he's a Northwest kid too. So anyone that's Northwest, and that's why I like Adley Rutschman too. He's from Oregon State. So anytime I get people from Oregon or Washington, whether they go to high school or college, I'm always going to root for those guys like heavy, and I want the Orioles to go to the World Series. If the Mariners weren't going to go, I wanted the Orioles to go. Hell, I wanted the Orioles and the Mariners to play in the ALCS, but we fucking didn't even make the goddamn playoffs. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why I need to be able to get all the facts, with everything that's going on, you know. And we obviously know there's a lot of people out there, men and women, that lie. Like I said, oh, he touched me or he did this, and they didn't. But also too, there's been allegations. Well, I didn't do nothing, and then they did. So oh, you're good, Mark. All right, here we go. I mean, it could. Arizona just won. Yes. So it could end up being Astros Braves, and it's like either rooting or rooting for the Braves or rooting against them, but really rooting for the Astros or rooting against them. It's pretty much everyone on planet Earth rooting against the Astros except for Astro fans. But I think they're the only team that could beat the Braves. They could win 3 or 4. Anybody that comes out of the American League is probably only going to win 2. Unless it's the Orioles and they get really lucky, or the Rangers or Astros, like one of those 3 teams that maybe could win a little more. Uh-oh. All the way to the wall. Damn, that almost homered. Digging for 2. Safe. Barely. Wow. Josh Bell doing it again. Yeah, but I think the most fun World Series would be Orioles and Braves. Or Dodgers for my dad. My dad loves the Dodgers. Dodgers are always fun to watch. So. But I like the Blue Jays and the Orioles because they remind me of the Mariners. They're like young, they're sleepers, and it's not like the same Yankees or Astros. You got Rangers. They spend the money or whatever. But I don't know. I would love to see the Orioles get there. I think they would be a really cool team to represent the American League. But I don't know if anyone's going to be able to beat Houston. Once we get to that point. Verlander, Dusty Baker, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Altuve. Jeremy Pena. Like, we can't act like those guys aren't good. They have World Series experience and they're fucking good. They cheat, but they're good. Maybe they didn't cheat last year, but you know what I'm saying? Like, throw the cheating out the window. They're a damn good team. And I'll tell you what, if you're the Atlanta Braves, the last team that you want to see if you have to face the Dodgers to get to the World Series is fucking Houston. Because then you're like, we're going to win, but we are feeling a little threatened. But if it's anyone besides the Astros, the Braves are like, we're going to fuck them up. They're like, we're going to sweep or win in 5 or 6. Like, there's no way in hell anyone's going to win more than 2 against us. Even if the pitching and some of the guys have been banged up. I mean, they're deep. 1 away. But Wolf was in here earlier, and he says there's some injuries, though, to keep an eye on. And he's a fan, so he would know. But gosh, I mean, the players have played so good. Olsen, Acuna, Strider. I mean, what a fucking trifecta. I mean, hopefully one day that'll be Cal, George Kirby and Julio for me, especially being a fan since like the 80s. I mean, it's like big swing and a miss. Burger. Burger and Bell were such good pickups, man. Oh, 1 pitch. Pitch on the corner, call the ball. Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte back-to-back homers. And when you get back-to-back homers, the psychology of it, it fucks you up. You're like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's bad enough when you're up 3-0 and then it goes to like 3-2. But then when it goes 3-3, you feel you're going to lose, and that's what happened. Get him! 2 away. 1 out away. Well, I wish we could have had some more of the mods come in and wish you a happy birthday or donate for either you or me, but we already know what it is. We got each other, we got the fan base, the people that come through, and then hopefully some of those people will come through, later on and whatnot, you know. But like I said, it shows you when you have those regular goats last year that were coming in like every day, then the other goats would come in. And then so if certain people don't show up, then other people don't show up, you know. But we're just as important, you know, here with or without those people. I wish those others would realize that, you know. Just because you know, people come in and donate real heavy, and then if they don't, doesn't mean that you don't show up. You can still come hang out, you know. Bach boy, runner goes to third. Right down the middle for a strike. 4-1 Phillies. 2 away, runner at third. I need to go on another walk with my pup. One pitch to De La Cruz. Oh, bottom corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One more pitch. Now the crowd's going crazy. All right, then we got to hit him with the throwback logo. Left to right. I wanted to find this one in a full rotation, but some of them only go left to right, right to left, but it's still dope. I'm always grinding. First, it was my logo. Then it was like logos that weren't transparent. Then it was logos that were transparent. And then we stepped up now and we do the spinning and the side to side logos. I mean, it just takes the channel to another level when you can do something like that. It's a creativity process. You know, you're just trying to be able to make the visuals better. Let's go, Phillies. Philly fans are awesome. They really are. You know, the passion, and a lot of the Phillies fans are Eagle fans. Like, you know, you'll see Eagle jerseys out there, like, you know. Oh, yeah, 7-game series all the way across the board would be best. I agree. Also, it depends on who has the games at home and who's pitching, and, you know, 2 out of 3. I mean, it literally, you could be the worst team and win 2 games, you know. That's 100% true, but that's not going to change. This format is what they have, you know, in line, at least for the wild card round. Then when we go to the DS and the CS, it's 7. So pitches outside, full count. De La Cruz in the box. Craig Kimbrell. Chopper towards third. Throw to first. Got him. Phillies win. Phillies win. Phillies win. So I'll be doing reaction videos tomorrow. So I got 4 NFL games to do the last 4 of the week. And then once I get those done, I'll do maybe 1 or 2 college football. And then depending on if I go out with Dave tomorrow or not, I'll be streaming another game, which will probably be this game tomorrow. Let's look at the schedule. I assume the schedule stays the same. Yeah. So it'll be Marlins Phillies at 5 o'clock, unless I did the Diamondbacks Brewers instead, which I wouldn't mind doing that actually and switching it up. But I don't know. It'll either be Diamondbacks Brewers, Marlins Phillies, or no live stream, and I go out and I just do reaction videos all day. So well, I gotta see what I'm gonna be doing with Dave and whatnot, if I'm gonna be going out or not and whatnot. But we'll figure it out. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for everyone that donated, commented, shared to obviously make Sarah's birthday the best that it can be. And hopefully we get some of those other goats to come through to show some love as well. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you. And I'll be back tomorrow with some reaction videos in the AM. And then I'll message you, Sarah, and let you know if we're going to be doing this game tomorrow or if we'll end up skipping a stream and then going back into Thursday for Thursday Night Football. Commandos versus Duppas. Love you. Appreciate you. Like, shares, donos, comments. You guys are the greatest. I love you. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Matt, Sarah, Reflect, Mark, Zini, all y'all. I love you. And I'll be back very, very soon. Gang.